Starts, but then later there's running and screaming.
G'day everyone, Matt over here.
Sorry, is that me? That's me.
The brick boards here. At least I know the sound's working.
Why is Wally flat on his back? What are you doing?
Went a bit Wally.
Guys, I'm so lucky that I have you, because if I didn't, I would be pregnant by the end of the night and having fake parties who all rob me of my VIP points.
Yeah, I suppose skeletons really are not going to cost you an arm and a leg, are they?
To the Leicester Square store, and they had 3 people stood around feeding bags for the whole time I was there. What are you doing?
I was terrible at feeding those bags. I just can't.
I was. I was. I had security in Sainsbury's. Was it Sainsbury's? Morrison, all looking at me. And Tom said to me, I think we're being watched. I said, I'm not bothered. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm feeling bags.
But I haven't got a Woody. That sounds dodgy. I haven't got a Woody minifigure.
There's 2 now! It doesn't matter!
Good evening and welcome along to the Family Bricks live stream number 44 of this season. Hope that you are all going well and enjoying this post-Christmas life. Just chatting to a few people backstage, and yeah, sounds like everyone's eating and being merry and just enjoying the last little bit of what's happening here. So shout out to the replay gang and Brian's Bricks as usual. Thanks very much for leaving the comment down below. So if you are watching us back in replay, be sure to leave a comment down and I'll give you a shout out on the next one. Always appreciate everyone who's been watching it back. There's quite a number of you who do that, which is brilliant. And usual sorts of things: share, like, subscribe, press buttons, click things up there. Also got a poll going. This is kind of the last episode before New Year's, so the last episode of 2023. So doing a bit of a recap of the year, sort of what some good things that we've seen, some bad things, and so we got a poll just off to the side. What sort of Lego year has it been for you? Brilliant, so many good sets. Pretty good, enjoy what I got. Average, expensive and not too good, and then poor, I saved so much money. So drop some answers into that and we'll see where we get to at the end of the night for that. And just while we're here, go through, give the sponsor a little bit of a plug, just helps out pay for a few bits and pieces like streaming software.
This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.macatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you.
And with that, I'll quickly go through the chat there. So Bricky Ty, still terrible with these pronouncing names and things. Yeah, hope you're having a good evening and that too. And Stop Clone VPN, new one in. Thanks for that. Hello, hope you're going well. Madlib, a good evening. Brickstage Pass, good evening to you. They were doing their 2 to 4 players stream a bit earlier. Good to see them getting back into that. And Brick Askew, good evening. And Mega Man, hello, hope you're going well. TJ saying hello. And Omega saying good. And shout out to Briggy Ty Y as well. And with that, I think we'll bring some of our regular panel in. So we'll add in Madlib and Brick Askew, good to have you in. One Brick
hello.
Side, good to have you in. And Bonnie's Bricks, good to have you in. How are you all going?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah,
very
good. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, going well. So it's it just seems like we've just gotten past Christmas, and I was thinking about it just before the stream started. It's like, you know how we had like Halloween, like we're being themed, and then Halloween next day on to Christmas, and it's like we've gone past that, and there's nothing for a while. So it's almost like a bit of a relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it, to be honest. Like, it just feels like non-stop, like, snowballing. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for the fresh start feel, you know? Like, everyone, someone Instagrammed me about this earlier. They were like, need to catch up, not spoken ages. How have you been? I'm looking forward to a fresh new year. And I don't know what it is, but there is something about that, like, January feel. But January does drag, though. Like, I think the only thing that gets us through is the new releases. Like, sad as that is.
Yeah. I mean, we can have a little bit of a chat about that in a bit, but new releases, it just doesn't feel like it has in previous years. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because the modular and a few others came in December, so it's not feeling as special as such.
Well, also, I think you can get some of these new releases now, can't you? Like,
Yeah,
they're already in the shops.
Yeah,
It's not like
yesterday.
nobody's sticking to the actual like release date, shelf date.
Yeah.
So,
And particularly I've seen some places in the States, I think Walmart and Target, and they're sort of like, well, not abiding by street dates. And it's like, if they've got product in their shop and the shelves are empty and people are coming in with money, they're going to be putting the stuff out. So,
And
the
hype away.
It can do a little bit. I just got to do this a bit larger. That's not your Christmas tree in the background, either, is it?
No. It's a lovely IKEA tree. No, it's it's actually like plastic as well. It was funny trying to build it. There was actually instructions to build it, but I needed them. I was like, how do you put this together? No, that's not. Our Christmas trees are actually down, so I'm one of these people that's like,
wow,
brutal.
I don't want to. No, it is brutal, but it's also like I don't want to go into the new year like with a reminder of like last year, and then like a reminder that it's not Christmas anymore, because it makes me feel really sad. So like, yeah, I was like, this is just like the prime days like that just passed to get everything out. So our living room now looks astonishingly white. It looks like it's like an IKEA display room. Like almost like it's just so white and bare, because we basically have obviously been doing the place up, and then we just chucked loads of decorations up because it was coming up for Christmas. But now it's like, oh gosh, it's just it's very bare and boring.
We're starting to put pictures up in preparation for the tree coming down.
Yeah, I would recommend it, because otherwise you're just kind of like, oh, this isn't very exciting. But it's fine. We'll fill up the walls with like Lego and stuff. It'll be grand.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Get them sets up, you'll be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that being the sort of year review, I thought we'd invite a few people back who have either been a big part of the streams or have been on quite a bit. So bring in Tech Productions, who was in for quite a number of the really early streams, and also TJ, who was in for a lot of the Ahsoka streams. How are you guys going?
Very good, thank you. Good to be here.
Doing good.
Excellent.
They're still
And
buffering.
sorry, what was that?
Still buffering.
Okay. So I think Tech, it was first Christmas with a little one. How was that?
It was really good. It was fantastic, actually, because we went over to my mum's and they were all fighting over us. So I just got to really kick my feet up. It was fantastic.
You're just sort of like, okay, you've got it for a few minutes. I might just go and have a quick little kip or something.
Exactly. Yeah, I was getting up at like 11 o'clock midday, maybe even later some days, and it wasn't a bother in the world. It was great.
Nice. And TJ, we were commenting a bit earlier how you'd changed around your setup there a little bit.
It's changed again. Here you guys go. So
good.
Before, when I was last on, the desk was over there where the shelves are now. And so I think pretty much everything is moved except my bed, which is only slightly in the field of view, and my dresser and the cube shelf. And I hope this is the optimal room layout. It probably won't be. In a few months, this will all get changed around again.
Changed around, because you're saying just off to your right is a little bit of bring back up
all the
set up
parts
for
over here.
Your mocks and that, because I certainly remember this year when you did the Brickworld Chicago mock. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's over there.
Yeah, just in the background there, such brilliant. So, it was interesting. Obviously, London Bridge Bricks had their 4-year stream a little while ago, and I was going back and going through some really early episodes and things like that. And I just remember that time you'd only sort of at that stage just started college, and I think you're the other side of that now.
Yeah.
So time certainly goes by pretty quick.
Do I have to start guessing what you studied? Is that my next guessing challenge?
I mean, you could.
I'm going to go criminology. It's my first.
I'm going to say medicine.
No. No to both of those.
But like some
No, it's,
film and media.
No,
or
it's,
something like that?
it was psychology, actually.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I hand on heart was about to say that. I was hand on heart about to say that. 'Cause so many people do psychology. That sounds bad, but yeah.
No, originally I was a math and high school education double major, and then I switched it in my sophomore year. So some people get confused. Some people forget that I changed it, but I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's you sometimes forget how long you've sort of been doing this after a while. So like see people change and go through, this case college and change jobs and all sorts of things. So it's great to have you guys back in. And I think as we're sort of doing a bit of the review, I wasn't too sure how to do this. Maybe we sort of start off with for the year, what was one of the top sets that you either built or purchased that came out during the year, and maybe just give a quick comment as to why, and maybe just one, and we might go around and sort of see how the discussion goes from there. So, Madlib, what is one that you sort of
definitely one of my top sets of the year has to be the Batcave Shadow Box, because if it wasn't for that set, I wouldn't have started YouTube. So it was that set that I enjoyed building so much that made me want to start documenting my builds. And that's why I then started my channel. So for me, that's definitely one of my top sets of the year. And obviously it's completely unique in the fact that they've never done a shadow box before as well. And there's, for me, it's nostalgic. I love Batman Returns. I think it's a brilliant film. I've probably watched it more than the original Batman. So yeah, so for me that, and obviously a bit of a Batman fan. So so definitely the Batcave Shadow Box for me is definitely one of my top sets of this year. So
brilliant. And that's as what you say, you have that connection in terms of it really getting you into it. Because you've only sort of come back into Lego kind of recently. So was that sort of, were you getting bits and pieces and then that when you sort of caught,
I've always had like a few sets. I've always been getting a few sets like a year, not that many, like 2 to 3 sets a year or something, like little bits that piqued my interest. I had a few Harry Potter ones. I had some Star Wars ones before, but never really like delved into it as a full-time hobby kind of thing. But started picking up more and more Lego this year, and as I say, did that one set, and that one set just made me go, right, I'm going to start documenting this because I've enjoyed it so much, and I wish I'd have filmed it, or I wish I'd have, had something that I can look back on, because I did take a few photos of it. But now I actually, the whole reason of my name of my channel is Martin Andrews Documenting Life in Bricks, and that's where Madlib comes from, and that's where that's what my channel's about. It's just documenting the builds that I'm doing. So yeah, so that's why that is my number one set for this year for me.
Yeah. No, it's everyone's going to have their own sort of little take on things, and that's great. As sort of said, with having the reason to get in and film and start YouTubing, and ending up on here for better or for worse. So, Ollie, what's been your really top set for you this year that you've either built or has been released?
So, built Barracuda Bay. I'd actually already built it before, but built it as the ship this year. I think that's been my top set. I'm building Rivendell right now, so that might beat it. But yeah, Barracuda Bay, although not released obviously this year. That's been my favourite. Yeah.
No, it's
really cool.
Certainly one which much the same. I was doing the streams with the kiddo on the weekends, and he wanted to do that again. So we started that a couple of years ago, and then actually got around to finishing that off, and I was thinking much the same. It's like, does this kind of qualify? Is it going to be too old?
Yeah, that's it. I have made a list. I have got ones released this year as well. That yeah, we can talk about later.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's been one of my standout ones. There's been a few though. Daily Bugle as well. Rebuilt that.
Well,
That's nice.
yeah. No, it's. I suppose that's for me the old school Lego. You'd have within sets a couple of different versions of things, but even during the year recently, the small little Technic ones, which I know is Chris's favorite type of sets, they used to have
Did you
like
find that
maybe B
wheel?
model, but now they're getting rid of the B models as well. So it's sort of like you're just going to have the one set. So it could be sort of the end of B models as such.
Right. I didn't
I
know that was
suppose-
a thing. I suppose is that kind of like what, like 2-in-1 kind of thing, rather than
Yeah, it would be like they'd usually always have, the main part of the set that you'd build like on the box, and then they'd have like at least one or two alternate versions. Technic was always very big into doing that, but a lot of your creative stuff used to have it. I'm talking about going back a couple of decades ago. I mean, the closest. That's why I always found the Creator 3-in-1 kind of weird, because it's sort of like, wait a minute, that's what you used to do all the time.
Yeah, because you just have that in the back, wouldn't you? You'd have alternate builds, suggestions,
sort of things. But I guess these days, particularly with things like Rebrickable and stuff like that, it's like, well, if people really want it, it's there. And if, as a company, if we're providing 2 or 3 models in it, when people build each of the different flavors, then they might not go out and buy new ones as quickly. So
yeah, and maybe they just don't pay designers to make alternate builds from the sets anymore. Maybe just like get that set out, move on to the next one.
Move on to the next one as such. So okay, cool. Tech, sort of busy beavering away there. What's been a set for you, which has been a sort of highlight, either released this year or you've managed to build?
Okay, so I did I went through like all the sets earlier. I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to miss anything out. And I did whittle down a list of 5 of like my top 5 sets this year. Maybe I really need to take a look at like what I purchase in terms of like when it comes to priority, because I actually only own one of them. And I've only built one of them. So we'll start with that one. And that will be the Ghost. Really enjoyed building that. Me and Sam went to the Lego store the first day it was released. And we came back. I think I streamed for a bit, and then we went on Greg's stream on London Calling and finished that off. So yeah, that set, I think it just holds up as well. Like as a big Rebels fan, that was a set that I missed out on originally. But yeah, the figures are fantastic in it. I just really like that set, and I didn't expect to see it in Lego so soon, to be honest. So getting that this year was good. I very much enjoyed that set.
Yeah, no, it's I think obviously we used to joke with you for the last couple of years how long into a stream before Tech would mention something about Rebels. I mean, you managed to get 18 minutes, but I mean, to be fair, you've only been on for half of it, so
yeah.
But no, certainly once the statement came out and went back and I watched the first couple of seasons of Rebels, it's like, damn it, Tech was right.
Yeah,
it's actually quite good. So no, and that's brilliant to sort of hear. Yeah, obviously a big Rebels fan, and being able to go back into the shop and see some Rebels related products after all these years. Must be kid in the candy store type thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Ghost is a really nice build. It's got some really nice colors on it as well. The colors on the ship are really nice. So yeah,
which is very refreshing for Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it also the sort of thing where because of those, what was it, 4 sort of Ahsoka sets, that's the one which I've never really seen on discount. I'm getting the sense that it's only in Lego store, or it's kind of exclusive at this stage.
I think it's an Amazon exclusive, and I think at the moment, or at least yesterday, it was like £10 off. But that's like the most I've seen at discount.
Yeah, he's right. I saw that earlier this morning. I saw the Ghost on Amazon.
Yeah. So you're not going to pick it up much cheaper than retail, and I think it's going to be one of those that kind of stick it at its retail price for the majority of its run, I would imagine.
Yeah, if it's only on Amazon, I would imagine it's going to be one of those ones. You're going to get one of those flash sales once in a while, like once in a blue moon, and you'll pick it up. But otherwise, you might have to look at, because it's been the one which, apart from the hardcore Star Wars fans, generally most people don't have it that I've seen. It's sort of like got the other three because they're easy to come by. So I might just say once that goes on a decent discount, I'll grab that. But okay, brilliant. Bonnie's Bricks, what's been one of your sort of top sets for the year?
Okay, so is this how we're doing it? We're doing one to start with, and then we'll go around again. Just because I've just quickly come up with a list as well. I was like, I knew Tech would be prepared, and I was. I think this was hard actually, like really hard to come up with like choosing one. But I think my favorite set this year that also happened to come out this year for the build, for what it was, for the experience building it, had to be the Disney Villains set, because that ticked every set. Yeah, I know everyone would forget about that one. I was like, I'm not letting it get forgotten. And no surprise, it's a Disney set, but it just ticked every single box for me, because it brought in nostalgia for me, like the VHS. I like grew up with VHSs, and the building techniques involved made it a really enjoyable build. We were spoiled with 4 minifigs, like brand new minifigs in that set as well, and it displays so nicely, and I'm going to get a display case for it as well. This is going to be pristinely kept. Yes,
there it is.
You should have it. Yes.
Yeah,
but it is just.
Yeah, I bought it for Carl for Christmas, and he built it yesterday. So
it's just so freaking awesome.
And
like
really,
there's
really
so
nice.
there's so many printed pieces as well. Like that card is printed, and it's just like they really kind of, and I think the price point is fair for it as well.
Oh no.
Don't tell him. No.
Stability as an issue there, though.
Well, there you go, though. It's also because everything's built in sections. That's not
it comes off.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I just like.
Yeah, this is brilliant. This bit.
I don't think you can fault it. Yeah, it's
so you open it up, and then you've got the film inside. So yeah, obviously little kids are gonna be like, "What's this?"
Yeah. I know, it just makes you feel even older, but that has to be my favorite set of the year for all the reasons above and so many more. But that is it in a nutshell. I think it's just fantastic. It's so good, and it really is like. Obviously, I got into Lego last summer, but this year was. I've not actually even been on YouTube for a year yet. I've just realized this. And so this was kind of like, that came out in the summer, and that was kind of like the kind of peak of when I was doing stuff. So that was just like the best time for, like, I went day release day to get that one, and it was just like the best day ever. It was nice and quiet as well. I was like, fine, if no one else wants to come and line up for the set, I'm going to be here. So it was a great one to pick up that day. It was a good day. So yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, it's one which is kind of on the radar, kind of not, because much the same. I sort of look at VHS and it's like, I know all about that. It's kind of cool. And occasionally it has gone at a good discount, and it's like,
there's no excuse not to have that in your Lego repertoire.
Funds is usually the usual one, but and it's interesting you should touch on. And Madlib did this a little bit earlier in terms of it's like your first year and things like that. So certainly maybe a question which we'll have later on is, how you found being sort of like now into Lego or back or on YouTube or something like that, in terms of what you initially thought it might be, what you set out, what you're currently doing, how life changes things along the way. Be kind of curious to sort of hear a little bit about that as well when we a bit later on. One Brick Stud. I sort of one of your top sets. I would imagine it's going to have Harry Potter in the title. So
it may not, Matt. It may not. Give me a hand. Shoot me down. No. I'll let you know. I've got a top 5. I'll just whiz straight through them, and then I'll go into detail as to why I think Green Guts is number 1. Right. And so I've got 5th place, Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. I haven't built it yet for Christmas, but I've seen it built. I know what to expect. And I think even when I finish building it, it's going to be 5th place still. 4th place is actually the set I'm going to be finishing tonight, which is the Mos Eisley Cantina. which is amazing. So good. Third place is Home Alone, which I finished about a couple of weeks ago.
I watched the film the other day, and I want the set so badly.
Yeah.
Packed of references, with a few references for the sequel as well. It's just so good. They went all out on that set. They really did. You know, they could have carved it in half. They didn't need to make it enclosed, but they did. It was a brilliant set. Second place is the Hogwarts Express Ultimate Collector's Edition. I built that in May because I had it for my birthday. And first place is Gringotts. Shocker. And then, I mean, honorable mention Rivendell, because I think Rivendell, if I try to generalize my opinion, you know, if I'm trying to voice everybody in the community, I think most people would say Rivendell. But I've never built Rivendell, and my wife and I are decorating the living room next year, and my ambition is to get Rivendell, get it in a case, and get it displayed in the living room once it's decorated. But yeah, Gringotts is my number one set. It's just the concept, the design. It's just amazing. I know a lot of people probably didn't want the underground, but it would have just been that old building on a base plate again. They've lifted the base plate up. So many display options, and also, you know, with the underground, you could actually recreate the story from start to finish when they break into Gringotts during the film. So it literally had everything. And what also helped is that it was hyped over a year or two. I think since Diagon Alley came out, you know, it was definitely going to happen at some point, and it did, and it failed to disappoint. And yeah, Gringotts, yeah, just perfect.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's one of those things which they've been sort of rumoring around about for a little bit, and obviously sort of potentially got delayed from last year, and then when it came out this year, I think the only downside which I saw anyone sort of saying about was the sticker sort of thing. So it's interesting sort of looking at that, and then you go across to, say, the villains one that Body's talking about, and every other piece seems like it's printed or something. So
yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. All right then. Yeah, no, it's certainly one of those interesting little builds in terms of you've got the underground section, you know, how that integrates then with the rest of Diagon Alley and everything. But it, much like the Bat Box, which Madeline mentioned, it's sort of, it's good to see him, you know, thinking outside of the, I'd say outside of the box, but caught myself with a Trevorism. And cool. So TJ, what did you sort of think was a sort of top set you either built or was released this year?
Oh, I'd have to say just over my shoulder is Ninjago City Markets. That's one of my favorites. It's over here. Yeah, it was great. It was great to have another Ninjago modular. I think the fig selection for a Ninjago fan was probably the best out of the four as well. And the build was good. I think the build was not as good as Gardens, but still very, very good. And I loved the working toilet in that set. That was great. and I had that whole thing back then where I was going to try and flush a Lego Katana piece down the toilet and see if it worked.
Did it work?
It didn't work. It did, unfortunately.
Where did you get stuck? Hopefully not partway down.
No, I tried a bunch of pieces with that toilet actually, and only the 1x1 round tile worked. I tried studs.
That was a brown tile, was it? It wasn't like the ice cream piece.
Yeah, no. I tried the ice cream piece. It didn't work either.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, so that means we get a good variety of ones in there. And while I've got you on, because being the Ninjago expert, we're starting to see little pictures of these little mini builds or something. What do you sort of know about them, and what's your thoughts on them?
Well, we've only seen the first one, the Ninjago City. It's a micro version of the original Ninjago City modular from 2017. The back of the box teases 3 other micro modulars of the other 3 modulars. We don't know if we think it'll be a GWP based on the number, but we don't know for sure yet. And we don't know what the threshold would be. But I'm assuming that because there's 4 of them, it's going to be like Houses of the World, where it's a really expensive threshold. and you collect the 4 of them throughout the year. But I don't care. Take my money. I want them.
Yeah, it's an interesting, as what you say, it reminds me, if they do it like that, like the Houses of the World, but the difference being, for me at least, the Houses of the World, take it or leave it, it wasn't, but that first one that we've seen, that's really interesting. And it sort of reminds, was it a few years ago when they did sort of like some little mini builds for some of the classic sets and things like that? And seeing the back of the box and having like 4 of them coming down the line.
Yeah, and they can all connect too. So it's going to be great. Yeah.
And particularly with those first couple, which, the original movie one and the docks, given how expensive they are, I think it's going to be, a nice little cheap way for anyone who's come into Ninjago lately to pick them up.
I have this shelf on the bookcase. That's going to have to be cleared off for micro Ninjago modulars. I don't know what's going to happen to all that stuff, but it's going to have to move.
It's going to come out of there. Brilliant. It's like I said, seeing those little micro ones, particularly after we've had a Houses of the World, it seems like a step up. So, I mean, do you want to take a stab at what you think a GWP price point might be?
I mean, I'm guessing, I would hope that it's lower than Houses of the World, but that would imply that Lego learns their lesson, and they don't. So they'll probably do the same $250.
That threshold was too much, especially for Houses of the World. That's on my list for one of the worst, most disappointing sets of the year. Was just all of the Houses of the World.
For me, for the Ninjago modulars, I'd probably go for the $250 threshold. Houses of the World, no chance. But the Ninjago
this
modulars,
is it. They can do that. Like, there'll be demand for that.
But I guess that becomes the other thing, is whether if they did, like Houses of the World is generally across, if you spend $250 on anything, it qualifies. But whether they would Ninjago, sometimes they do it as, it's got to be their own theme. So like Ninjago City or I wonder if Dreams would fall into it. But
I think Dreams would. As long as it's a
non-IP kid, maybe.
Yeah. So
a lot of money though, $1,000 on. Is it that much after you buy like the big set? Like, how much can you spend? Can you spend 750 quid or 700 on the other Ninjago set?
Now, I mean, if not with all the stuff that's coming out in January, you'd have to go back and buy a previous one. So I'm assuming that they'll release the first one relatively soon. If they go by the pattern of Houses of the World, it'll be sometime in January. Late January, probably.
It'll be quarterly, right? If there's 4, if it's all over next year.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll keep it exclusive to Ninjago. Otherwise, they'll have to drastically lower the threshold. But I think because the modulars have a greater reach to Lego collectors than standard Ninjago sets, that I think they'll have it be the same as Houses of the World across the themes.
Yeah. Hopefully they do that, because if they do have a high price per point, I only just managed to pick up Ninjago City. Is it Gardens? Is it the second one?
Docks is the second one.
Sorry, third one then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then Gardens,
yeah.
Which is also over my shoulder.
Yeah, that was a good deal recently. And then I've seen Brett's builds there, building a house at Hocus Pocus at the moment. Yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you managed to pick that up for Christmas, so that's great to see. And then Madlib sort of asking if he's getting the medieval market, because let's see now, not the new release, building Vintage Castle. And don't ask, Vintage one is definitely on my list. Okay, cool. Yeah, because Brett loves these castles and that there. So what I thought, what I've been doing is sort of the end of the year, going back into some of the other old streams and sort of clipping bits and pieces. So done a couple of videos up, so I might just release the first one and sort of see how things have gone this year.
Hello, everybody.
It could be wrong, but Harry Potter is important in the Harry Potter.
His name is in the title. Maybe a bit strange if he's not in there.
A few of my colleagues know that I love Lego, and one in particular knows I hate Technic. So I know it's just painful. But what's worse is the set was missing a wheel. So look, it's just got 2 front teeth there.
I thought you hadn't finished it.
You know, going from the Home Alone set to this is like being kicked in the nuts while standing on Lego bricks barefooted. You know, that's about it.
You know, whenever anyone gets your Lego set now, it's going to be Technic. Right? Yeah. You set yourself up so badly for this.
Next person. Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I die and my family has to dissolve my my collection, they will think that I'm secretly in love with Harry Potter because they
No, it's just not appealing. It's definitely for kids and so on, or Nicole.
Nicole, I think you should do your very first live stream with that set. You know, the voice where you can change the pitch of your voice. I went, oh yeah. When he's in the toilet. Santa!
Ho, ho, ho. And what would you like, little boy, for Christmas?
That sounds creepy. Yeah.
That's not Santa.
How'd you get on with your build? And
I've done this much.
I think it needs water.
I'm not known for keeping plants alive, so that does suit.
Well, they're bringing out a watering can, so you'll be sorted.
Oh yeah.
That is amazing. Matt looks like an angel.
So he's
For a
floating
change.
and hanging on the
Uh,
Nicole is so friggin' funny.
oh,
What a legend. That was great, Matt.
Yeah.
no, it's just it's great just to go back through that and see like always sort of having a bit of a good laugh and things like that. And yeah, the amount of Nicole ones I then had to pass over. It's like, no, it's like
That
so
looks
it's-
like an angel. Oh my god.
dear me. And then also too, so Nicole's not in tonight. I think she's a bit under the weather, so I hope that she's going well out there. And yeah, so forever now, one brick stud, Technic presents, excellent. Got that now.
God, it was a crap set.
Did your mate own up to taking out the other bag?
Pardon, sorry?
Did your mate own up to taking out the other bag so you couldn't complete it?
No, he hasn't. No, he asked me to take a picture and send it to him, but I said no. I'm not going to. I just hate it.
So it's been brilliant, and then also too, Trevor's been the other one who's also not in tonight. So he's been a big part of the stream as well, and some of the dad jokes and things he comes out with, and then infects the rest of us. As we've got a couple more videos, but we'll hold them for a little bit later on. I think just touching on one of the new releases, which sort of been teased out during the week, is the retro food truck, sort of associated with the modular. What are people's thoughts on that?
I'm not that fussed about it, to be honest. I think it's a nice looking set, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go out in January and pass the threshold to get that GWP, to be honest. So, yeah, but I do appreciate the look of it, but yeah. Maybe if I was to buy it on resellers and it was like 20 quid or something, I'd get it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, judging by previous years, it'd probably be 25, 30 or something like that. So it's now the third year in a row that they've done that. So like release the modular and then about a month later, something associated with it. But to be fair, this year, if you did do the pre-order on the modular, you could get it qualifying for a GWP. So, you know, they might be slowly learning about that, like, not irritating people.
Is it coming out in January? Was it the retro food truck?
I think it's meant to be January 1st.
That's what's rumored. We haven't had a release date or a threshold confirmation yet.
No.
I feel like they must be feeling very confident about their January 1st releases because obviously usually people would be using the modular to get them up that threshold to get these GWPs, which is what I would have done. Because believe it or not, I'm not feeling very hyped about the January releases. There is literally one that I kind of really want, like to the point that I would go to the shop for it, but it's not worth going all the way there for a £10 set because it's just work out that one. But like, so for that reason, like I'm probably not going to end up getting GWP because I don't feel like I can justify spending that money for sets that I'm not as like passionate about and I would want, because I mean I've got the modular, I'm building the modular right now, so I don't know if that's like their way of being like encouraging people to buy more of the January releases so that they maybe get the GWPs, because they know what the community is like, that they like to collect the GWPs, and this is a really nice one, and especially those that have got the museum will want to go with it, rather than buying it like on the market or whatever. But yeah, a bit strange. Not a fan of that idea.
It's a strange one because I feel that this January is pretty flat in terms of like the last couple of years. January 1st, there's been lots of things you want to look at and get and whatever. The only thing I've been sort of tempted by is being the X-Jet, but it's way overpriced. Like 300 odd pieces for £80, and it's just like, no, that set needs to be 40 on a good day. So that's going to be 6 to 12 months, I'm sure, go on sale or something. But usually there's some Star Wars ones. Like I think they've done, Tech can correct me on this, the last year or two they've usually done, has it been a diorama? Or
the dioramas I think in recent years have come in like March,
May,
April, May. They've been like staggering helmets and dioramas through then, but they usually have a few play sets. They've obviously got the Crimson Firehawk, the 4+ Jedi Adventure set, the Battle Pack, and TJ, is there another set coming out for Star Wars?
No, that's it. I think the what was it? The Skeleton Crew set was supposed to release, but because the show got delayed, the set got delayed. So
so that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. So I mean, beyond that, is there anything that anyone's sort of looking at January 1st, day one, must pick that up? Or is it...
So for me, it's Sonic. So I'm looking at getting the Knuckles mech and the set with Shadow in. It's because I like Sonic. I grew up playing the Sonic games, and Knuckles was actually my favorite character. So I'm looking forward to getting them. Other than that, not a lot. And to be honest, it's not really a bad thing, because sometimes it's always nice to have a month where you feel like, Joe, what I don't have to buy anything. I can just relax and perhaps save money aside to the following month, where there's bound to be another set that comes out that I'll be interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
The one set I think I'd like to get would be the Sandman set to go with the No Way Home set. But I don't have to get it day one. That's the only thing. Like
that'll go down to 20 quid. Soon enough.
It's gonna drop. So because that is one of my top sets of this year as well. Actually, the No Way Home Final Battle. So as a big Spider-Man fan again, so I really like that set.
Much the same. That's why I've sort of been building the old one, so I can have that there. But at the same time too, it's sort of usually every January 1st I've done a stream, and I'll do one this year, and it's kind of like, what am I actually going to be building from January 1st? Actually, because it's which
the Spider-Man 4+ sets is about it, which are like £8 or something.
And another point, as if you're going into a new month and there's not many sets you're particularly interested in, maybe it gives you an opportunity to get some sets that you haven't got from last year. Gives you an opportunity just to catch up and get 1 or 2 sets that you just, for X, Y, and Z reasons, you couldn't get, and it gives you a chance to
there might be a couple of sets in the January sales you might get from this year.
I think some of the Creator 3-in-1s look really good. They're all coming out January 1st. I do begrudge paying full price for those at a Lego store, because they're just like a certified 20% off in Sainsbury's or like Tesco or something. So like, I do always feel a bit, if I'm like just shy of a promo, then I'll pick something like that up. I'm not going to go out and like buy a wave of them, just because to get a promo. The other set that I think is coming out Jan 1st that looks quite good. It's like the fossil one from Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That might be one that I don't know if that's. I'm assuming that will go out to other stores, but I feel like that one could be quite a popular one for Jan 1st. And obviously, of course, there's like 4 Monkey Kid sets coming out. So.
There's the Lunar New Year sets as well, actually.
Oh yeah, Lunar New Year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, Lunar New Year's.
Yeah.
But again, they'll go on sale in a bit, you know.
This is what I mean. Like we're all saying the same thing. Like we just feel like all these sets will inevitably go on a sale and get killer discount at some point. So it's kind of like, well, what's the rush?
The
Like,
Lunar New Year ones though are a bit tricky. When they go on sale, they seem to sell out quite quick.
Yeah.
So you do have to be on it with them. And when they go on sale, they sell out. Like, that's it. You're like, it's your last chance.
Yeah.
Because most of them usually only hang around for the year at most, sort of thing. But yeah, it's when they're doing it on a calendar year, though. It's and particularly next year being Year of the Dragon and that, and the more popular sort of ones. So yeah, there's those ones, and yeah, as Becky sort of mentioned, the Monkey Kid ones, which it's the thought which came up either the last stream or the stream before. A lot of the Monkey Kid now seem to be either just online only or only certain shops. It does feel like the prices have become a bit more reasonable. Like I know when we were sort of like in COVID and that, it's like, wow, these are really expensive. Do you think that they're just appealing to the Asian market, and we sort of get kind of not so much the dregs, but just sort of like we're not the primary market, so they don't really care too much? Or what's your sort of sense on it?
I think that was definitely definitely their kind of thought process at the beginning. And then I think probably with the city, there's been like 1 or 2 sets per wave that seem to have like struck quite a chord with Westerners, for want of a better term, like the non-intended market. Things like the Mountain, Heavenly Realms.
Heavenly Realms is gone now. You can't get. I had a look earlier. That's it. I think it's retiring this year.
Oh, really?
It's sold out on Lego, and you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go to
there's a few of those big sets, and I think the City of Lanterns are introducing that kind of like smaller scaled, but like Ninjago City-esque vibe, where it's got this modular component to it, and they're obviously keen to add more to those. I think they're getting more popular, but I do think that's right, Matt. I think they have definitely gotten better value for money as the years have gone on. You look at, I'm not one for like price per piece at all. Like I don't think it's a very good construct. But if you look at like the city, the Dragon's Palace of the East, that's like 150, 160 £160. It's got like 2,600 pieces. So that's like mid 2,000 pieces. You get a lot of new molds with the characters, and the minifigures are always a pretty top notch for Monkey Kid as well. So yeah, there is some. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint exactly what the shift was, but I do think so. But then to counter that is that, yeah, they are. I believe, as far as I was told, the last time I was at the Lego store, only Leicester Square are stocking them in store. I don't know if they'll have the new sets out for like a few weeks.
Yeah,
and then...
they mentioned in Southampton he seemed to think that they would have the new wave.
Oh, okay.
They seem more positive that they might have them. But yeah, all of the old waves, except for one set, I think, had gone to Leicester Square.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. It still seems to be doing okay. I mean, we're celebrating its 5th anniversary. These themes tend to be, these like Lego IP themes they try to get three like solid waves out of them. And Monkey Kid's outlasted that, so I don't think it's going away anytime soon, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, no, it's the other thought which occurred to me is that maybe because we've had such price inflation, if the Monkey Kids remain relatively constant,
maybe that's it. Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
because it's a bit of that. But yeah, it's I mean, maybe because I'm not tight within the Monkey Kid circles, but it's not like I hear much about the animation show beyond when it first came out, which was difficult to watch because you could, it was released in Malaysia and Asia, but you had to get like Korean English dubs or something at one point. Like,
yeah, I believe it's now available on ITV Player. I think at least the first 2 seasons are. I think they were adding the third. I haven't seen anything about season 4 yet, though. I think I'm quite behind on the show, though. I think I started watching season 3 and I don't think I quite got to the end of it. So I don't know quite where they're at now. But yeah, I think it is easier to you can find it, and I think ITV have the license to it here.
Because I thought they did a promoting on Lego.com or their Lego Instagram account and even their newsletter. You could go and watch, was it a Dreams Christmas special on like YouTube and their website?
Oh, the Dreams Ninjago special?
Maybe it was Ninjago?
Yeah, the Dreams Ninjago.
The
crossover, yeah.
That was on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, I went looking for it on YouTube. It wasn't there. I went looking from the Lego website. It wasn't there. And it's just like, I mean, this was like when it came out and they did the original promo. So, because we sort of saw that, and because that seemed to be something that was quietly put out. It's like Dreams is crossing over with Ninjago. Like what?
Yeah. Now I remember when it first came out, it was only in certain countries, so couldn't watch it yet. But then eventually they posted it over here.
Yeah, so that just seemed like kind of weird. It's like if you're putting it out on like YouTube and your own Lego website, that you then go and region block it when you're promoting it so heavily on Instagram and
Yeah. Classic Lego, making decisions that no one will ever understand.
Well, it just gets to that point where you go, right, you've promoted it, I've gotten the interest, I've taken action, and now I can't watch it. So what, do you think I'm going to keep on coming back to this?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so with that, might just take a quick spin around and see what everyone's sort of building or taking apart or sorting or whatever it is. Madlib, what are you sort of
well, I haven't actually started building today, but I was thinking of putting this together, the little Darth Vader mech. But what I have been building, if you want to see on my streams,
drum roll,
is the Razor Crest.
Very nice.
So,
yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I've been
Best
doing
ship
that
ever.
daily. Yeah, I know.
That
Why did they
is-
blow it up? Why did they blow it up?
I mean, I've seen it built. I don't own it, but when I went to Birmingham Lego about 6 months ago, it saw a display. It's amazing. It's so good. The interior.
Yeah, it has got some really nice details inside, and the shape of the hull and everything that you're building it's really clever techniques and stuff, and it's really nice. So, yeah, lots of ball and socket joints and stuff going into making those angles work and stuff. But yeah, so
to get there,
nice. Yeah, so that's what I'm building daily. Yeah, I'm going to build a little Darth Vader mech.
Because you had your daily stream a little bit earlier today, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, I started it Boxing Day, and I'm hoping to finish it New Year's Eve. I think I've got 3 more streams, and I should get the ship finished by then, I think. Roughly.
Cool.
I'm about halfway through. So, yeah.
Halfway through it with that, yeah. We'll be interested to sort of see how you get on with that. And because Tech, I know you sort of built it, and the other comment which I've seen surface a little bit from people is then they're not happy with the way that the whole sort of top wings and everything sort of fit in, and it's sort of like kind of a bit pops out pretty easily. I mean, what's your sort of take on it?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of those where you're not going to be like swinging it around the room. Like it's so it is kind of one of my gripes a little bit with some of the more recent like Star Wars UCS sets is that the AT-AT was a bit like this as well, where you like it's quite a fragile connection to like remove certain panels and stuff, and like ultimately it doesn't matter because the idea is you're not meant to move them, but when you do want to move them, you do find that you want to take those bits off before you try and move it because they will probably fall off or like slip and slide a bit. The Razor Crest one isn't so bad. The one of the main middle sections I think also has the engines attached, so there's a lot of weight in that's not really going to move it. But yeah, it is a bit of an issue, especially with the 8080. I did find that it seemed unnecessary. I guess it's for like to make it easier, but I don't know. I think I prefer it when there's a bit more of a solid connection and it feels a bit more stable. Because you're never quite sure if you've got it on right, and then you hook on the side panel, and then you'd step away, and then you breathe a bit, and then like one side would like droop down or something. It's always quite unnerving.
Some good points made there, because when that first got revealed, I think the only issues that the community was pointing at was it Quill? His head's a bit elongated, and was it the Mithril? Probably could have done with a head mold.
Yeah. I think I do look back at the Mithril, and I think the figure or the alien species is close enough to a human head that I personally don't see a problem with it, and I am a fan of a lot of the minifigure alien heads. I still go back and forth daily about getting the Cantina purely because of the alien molds on the figures. Like I love collecting them. I do think that one is a bit of a harsh criticism. The Quill definitely does look a bit strange. It's certainly better in person. I do remember that first leak coming out, and it did look ridiculous. But yeah, it's not too bad. It is a really good set. I didn't realize it's like quite substantially bigger than minifig scale until I built it. Like it is humongous. Like it is an absolute beast. But
finding that out now.
It's interesting seeing building the Cantina, which I've officially finished. It's like you've got characters that have got a fully molded head, and some characters have just got like normal headpiece and then just a headpiece you put on top to help bring its features to life. So it's sort of like what is the deciding factor as to whether you give one character completely new molded head, or you just give him a smaller mold that you just pop on top of his head.
Yeah. That'd be good questions for a designer. One of the designers.
Yeah. So those cool. All right. Just going brick askew. What are you sort of working on or building tonight?
A base plate. No, it's Rivendell. This is the last section of Rivendell.
Oh, cool.
So it doesn't look like much right now, but yeah, coming together. I say the last section. I think it's more than half the bags remaining. Yeah. So we'll see how long it takes. I'm hoping to get it done before the year is over, but the stickers are wonky. They've cut them wrong to the point where there's bits of like the white border coming through on the edge of the sticker. So I've requested a replacement sheet, but I might have to stop building when it gets to a point that I have to put a big sticker on that I can't go back and do easily.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it sucks.
So was it just a matter of the sheet that you got? It looks like it's
see if I've got it here, so I don't know if it'll show up properly. So do you see like it's kind of up?
Yeah.
And so then these ones here, like number 8 and 9, the top part is actually white. It's the white border between the stickers. So, and like number 7 has got half of the bottom of the content, like the writing cut off and stuff like that. So it's basically as soon as I have to put on a sticker from this sheet, I think I'm going to stop building if it's something I can't easily get around.
Deal with.
Yeah,
because certainly when you had the oval shaped sticker, you could see it's all slightly printed off. Somebody obviously hasn't loaded the sticker paper or whatever into the machine properly or something.
Yeah, it must have just, or it's just like slipped ever so slightly or something like that. Yeah, which is yeah, it sucks, but
and particularly on on an expensive set like that.
Yeah, that's it. Like if it's a smaller set, I can just put it to one side, but yeah, it takes up quite a bit of room. Yeah.
Yeah, and bricky tie wonky stickers. Oh no.
Yeah, and because there's a bit of a thing, it's an expensive set, so you'd hope it was printed anyway, and then it's stickers, and then the stickers are wrong. So yeah,
it's like,
I've never been so nervous putting stickers on as well with this one. Like I was doing it in the living room while watching Lord of the Rings, and the lighting wasn't right, so I had to like go out in the hallway, turn the big light on, and do all that, and then go back in the room.
Yeah, there's some sets like that. The kids were putting together the second Disney Castle, and it had some of the nice printed ones for the doors or the window archways. And they're so like, here, Dad, you do them because we don't. Like, and yeah, I think we're the same sort of thing in a room where it's dark and you can't quite see. It's like, oh no, forget this. I'm gonna go outside and do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would make the worst things for Lego this year, and expensive set with stickers with wonky printing.
Yeah, it did make me think of like when people are like, oh, the quality of Lego is going downhill. I was like, are they right?
Yeah, it comes more to the forefront of your mind as such. Cool. All right. I was going to ask Tech what he's doing, but I think he's mid-sneeze. So I'll go over to Bonnie. What do you sort of working on or building, taking apart? Or
I am doing the new modular museum.
Nice.
So I actually started this. What day was it? Oh, I can't remember now. But it was a wee while ago. But I've actually been so terribly ill since like Boxing Day. I've had the worst cold/cough in my life. I think I'm like, have I got COVID? Like I've not had COVID, and maybe this is it. So I'm still kind of like choked up just now, but so that's meant that I've actually just not even wanted to sit down and do Lego, and you know you're ill when you don't want to sit down and do Lego. So yeah, I'm just cracking on with more of it now. I'm loving it. But speaking of like what Ollie was just saying about you know, getting things coming wrong in their set, so far I've had 2 issues with this one. One of them is that I'm missing a piece, a tile. So I've mills plated this so it's easier to move and things like that. So and one of the mills plate, like the plates that I used was a green one, so you can see I'm missing missing a tile there. But that's easy enough for me to replace. I wasn't going to chase Lego for that because I'm like, oh, I've probably got that in my parts somewhere in the garage. But the biggest kind of like thing that kind of was annoying is obviously this set comes with a base plate and a half base plate because of the size of it. And they don't, like, there's nothing I suppose they can really do. I don't know, like, when they package them to make sure that they're a bit more protected, because of obviously all the weight of all the bags in there. So the half base plate came so bent. Like, it's annoying. I don't really have a very good photo because as soon as I got it out and I went, look, Aaron, look at this. And he was like, what? He started trying to, like, bend it back. And I was like, wait, I was going to get a photo so I could, like, so, but, like, I've got a photo of, like, this was the best that we could fix it. But you can still see it's kind of bad enough.
Yeah.
But that was him, like, really, that was the best we could fix it. But I've obviously mills plated it anyway, so it's underneath and it's down now. So I don't even think I'll probably chase them for that. But it was a bit of that's a bit annoying moment. So yeah, but I don't know what maybe would suggest for them packaging the base plates to stop that from happening, especially like a half plate, because that's easier to get stuck in under all the bags and then I suppose get bent a bit out of shape. But
is that a grey? Is it a 16 by 16 or 16 by
8? For the half base plate, it will be 16 by 32. No, it's 32 by 16, isn't it?
16 by 32.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's slightly
No,
different.
8 would be far too small. Yeah. And actually, the museum I have put in one of my top 5 for the year, even though I'm still building it, purely because I don't know, personally, in my opinion, modulars are just like a build in a league of their own. Like they just have that whole other building experience, and they just like they've just got that sense of satisfaction of like having a complete build. And I personally like I know like this set got like a lot of heat because a lot of people didn't like the color, like the olive kind of green. But actually, I thought I totally get why they've done olive green, and I quite like it because, well, natural history museum, natural makes you think nature, makes you think green. Also, like, I can't imagine a brightish color for a museum. I think it had to be something a bit more toned down, and a bit more like conservative, but lack of a better word. And yeah, I just think it like I'm loving it so far. I'm loving like all the little treats that I've come across, like all the kind of little fossils and displays and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to eventually going into my city that I've hopefully got happening in 2024. So yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it's interesting with the base because part of a build for next year, and we've ordered quite a number of the 16x16 grey ones to do Mills plates, and quite a number of people have been putting them on the Mills plates, and they're not sitting flat. It's like it's like some of them are fine and some are not. It's like it's almost like there's an issue with them anyhow. So no, it's just, so anyhow, no, it's interesting you should mention the color because I think I've seen, obviously there's comments about it, but in the last couple of days, I've really seen some people who've done color variations, and I think the only one which I've seen which I've kind of liked has been like with the tan color bricks. But it's sort of like I could understand then why you wouldn't do that because you have like there's a lot of different tan things where there's some of the Harry Potter buildings, a lot of the Star Wars ones, and I think this has just become a thing more in recent years because there's certainly last year with the Jazz Club, and maybe Lego shot themselves in the foot because somehow there was a leak of the Jazz Club with the alternate colors that they were thinking of doing it originally because I think I'm going to do it largely in blue, was it? And then it came out and everyone's complaining about the colors, but I just don't remember in previous years like whether it's been the police station or the bookshops or those sorts of things where people going, oh, there's something wrong with the colors. Like it's kind
of, but because I was one of those people. For me, Natural History Museum, I think light tan. I think of like the London Natural History Museum, and
it's the sandstone.
But I think it was Brickstage Pass was saying that he after building it. I think it was him saying after building it and seeing the interior, the colour choice completely makes sense because you wouldn't see the exhibitions properly, like the exhibits. It wouldn't stand out enough against the background. So then I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because they've done a lot of like tan sort of like it's completely floored and everything, and it's meant to look like kind of like floorboards, like kind of the way. Well, there goes the people. But it's supposed to look like it's like wooded floors and everything like this sort of thing, like what you would get in a museum actually. If you had tan walls as well, I think really right. And they've got like a slight dark tan at the bottom. That's not green. The camera probably doesn't show it very, but that's not green. That's not the olive green. That's like a dark tan.
Really? Okay.
And then I've only just started the green from here.
Okay.
So they have done a little bit of that, taking that into account. So no, I do like it. Because it also means that like I think you could argue that there's like most buildings you could say it should be a tan, because that is what most of our buildings are in Britain anyway. So they're obviously trying to keep it a bit interesting for people's cities. If everything was the same, then I don't know what like a really obvious one would be to be tan. Maybe like a parliament, like or no, like a parliament building or something. But then like we're not going to do something like that, so I don't know.
Yeah. Crown Court or something.
Yeah, a building that's so dull that we probably wouldn't do it anyway. Like I don't know.
I mean, maybe that's just the new sort of little thing with the modulars is every year it's like, what's it going to be in a different color? No, the color's not quite right. It's like Star Wars and UCS sets and 600-pound sets with 2 figures and things like that. Like it's just going to be those sorts of things. It's a magnet for making comments about. So with that, Tech looks like he's finished his sneeze or whatever.
Just about.
What are you sort of working on or doing?
So for Bricktastic, which I really need to butt my ideas up, me and Sam are going to be taking a mock to the convention, and so I'm just working on that at the moment. It's a pod racer mock from Phantom Menace, and we've kind of made this really complicated for ourselves because we want to make it like fully motorized. And so I'm just designing. Redesigning. Just the little cart thing. This lift arm will actually be longer, and then I can try lift this up if this base plate doesn't fall apart on me.
What sort of scale will it be, Tech?
I think play scale is like the best way we can determine it. Obviously, we want minifigures to sit in the cockpit and stuff, but obviously trying to make it like fully proportioned. It's going to be 27 gray base plates, I think.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be big. So the way we're kind of
Is that 48 by 48?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, kind of regretting that. But the way it's kind of going to function is I need to put obviously like supports and stuff under here, but it's all going to be elevated so that the train track and the train motors and stuff are all completely hidden.
I see.
So it will run along. Like I said, that lift arm will be a lot higher, but then that will go completely underneath and around the track, and hopefully it'll all work. But I had previously had this design built, and the box was like a little bit higher on the train wheels, and so like the battery box was kind of like rubbing under the side of the top the surface. So I just had to like redesign that a little bit so it now fits. And it looks like that's going to be the right height, and it should all be fine. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. No, when you show the train track like that, all of a sudden when you go 27 makes perfect sense. What you might want to check out is about 6 months ago, Killian's Bricks. He did the Endor speeders with the same sort of thing, where it's train track underneath, but then the scene was kind of elevated and whatever.
Yeah. I think I've seen that. I think I've seen it at a convention. And yeah, it's very much like that. Just on a scale probably too big than we should have tried to tackle. Whether the full 27 base plates make it to Bricktastic or not will be yet to be seen. Maybe it will be a slightly smaller version. I'm hoping not, but yeah, we've got big plans for it. We're hoping to take it to Chicago as well, which is like a really ambitious task.
He's sat on a pallet or something.
Yeah, yeah. Stuck us in a cargo crate and stuck us in a hold, like.
Yeah. or have a chat to High Tea Toys, because what she did for Steam, where they built their own sort of case, so then they could actually take it apart and put it down. It was really quite ingenious the way that they did it. But oh wow, that's. Kind of look forward to seeing that, because that will be fantastic if you could get that sort of there. And I'll try to dig out the link later on, but it's Killian's Bricks, and he did a video for it, because I think he took it along to just I think it was just one of the shows he goes along to, but he sort of also sells some stuff as well. But it's sort of like, oh, here's my first mock, and it's massive, and it's just like, wow, that's...
We have built this like in mind to be somewhat modular, because we want to be able to, because like trying to travel with like 27 base plates, like there'll obviously be supports and stuff underneath a lot of this, but it would be such a waste of space to try and pack things like this. So we've tried to, I'll try to show you again, but we've made it so like these panels like just easily come off, so they're all on jumper tiles, so they can be quickly and easily removed. And then what I do is just bag it up, so this will be like base plate 1, and then I can have a bag of all the components, and then like this part as well should no, it didn't. If I was doing it with 2 hands, I could have made that work a bit better, but fingers crossed it goes better than that demonstration.
Well, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Also, just good timing there. Hi to Not That Sound Smith. Also, hi to everyone here. And you've made it complicated. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think part of this it strikes me that the complication comes in the fact that you're having to think about how to transport it and, you know, deal with just logistics. Like if
Yeah.
you were a Coconut Studios and just setting it up in the corner of your room,
Yeah.
you know, go for your life sort of thing.
It wouldn't be nearly as much of a hassle, but yeah, trying to actively decide that we want to take it halfway across the world is yeah. I'm pretty sure that was Sam's part. I just wanted to go the I think Sam wanted to take it across the ocean, so I'll blame him for that bit.
But oh look, Sam, there's a bus coming. Push.
Yeah.
Under the front of it. So I wanted it to be a quarter of the size. Well,
Yeah.
you wanted to put monorail in it and make it like 10 times the price.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because like Sam was right, like he wanted it to be like a quarter of the size, and I was like, but then it'll be micro scale, and I just don't think it's quite as impressive. So we'll go a bit bigger, and then I'm designing Anakin's pod racer, and he's designing Sebulba's, and we were on a call last night. And he was like, "Can we make it a bit bigger? Because like I've got this pod racer, it doesn't quite fit." And I'm like, "Sam, we need to get this on the base." He was like, "But can I just have an extra 2 studs? It'll be fine, won't it?" "No, Sam, it won't be. Like, you're gonna ruin everything."
He probably figures, well, if we're gonna go big, what's an extra quarter scale?
Exactly. But we've got like archways for it to go under. We've got the start finish line, a cave for it to go through. Like it doesn't sound like much, 1 or 2 studs here or there, but yeah, it can definitely mess with some things, and we're trying to eliminate as few problems as possible as early as on as we can. So
as you can. No, I mean the ambition of it sounds fantastic, and yeah, I mean between what Sam and you guys knock out, is this just the two of you guys? Are you doing this as part of Gonklug, or?
Yeah, this is just the two of us. We had it was originally an idea that I had suggested for Gonklug, but me and Sam were talking a lot about it in Chicago last year, like how cool it would be, and I think a lot of the guys are like 16, 17, so they can't display at Britastic, and that was kind of the one of the shows we wanted to take it to, and I think this. While Scarif went like fairly a smooth ride in terms of like bringing a build together, this is like steps and steps and steps above of like communication and planning and stuff. So I think that's probably a little bit away, a few years away from what we do with Gonklug. I think just because that takes a lot of planning. It's very easy for me and Sam to coordinate jumping on a call, but trying to get like 6 or 7 members all nailed down at the same time to be able to sit and chat about things, or there's a little problem here that it's just that definitely gets more difficult the bigger you go with it, or the more people you include. So
and I think this. You can tell who's the optimist and who's the pessimist here.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's the realist, or
yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing. The more people you involve, the communication becomes exponentially more difficult.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's more a matter of if you can sit down and go, right, here is pretty much the design. Here's your quarter. Like as opposed to trying to figure out stuff on the fly. So wow, like love the ambition of it, and being the pod race and things like that. And even when you're just saying, doing it through the mountain and this, that, and the other, like I'm kind of excited just to see what you guys come up with, because I know you guys know how to pull out some amazing little mocks and things. So
yeah, fingers crossed. I think there's going to be because we've said for so long about Manchester for working it towards, like, and now we know that there's tons of people coming. I think like by just speaking it out loud is like trying to keep me. I'm hoping that it'll keep me more accountable for like for working on stuff. And this, I mean, we're like 2 months away. I probably started like actively gaining parts for it a couple of months ago. So this is way earlier than I've started any mock previously, considering I usually start the night before. So
Yeah,
we're way ahead of the game. People keep saying, "Oh, surely you're falling behind. You've got like hardly anything done." I'm like, guys, I am way ahead of it. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but isn't that usually for mocks, which are sort of like, you know, maybe an eighth the size?
Don't worry about the small details, Matt. Just...
Love the ambition. We'll check in with you. When's Manchester? That's February, isn't it?
End of Feb, yeah. So we've got like
Feb, so
2 months.
Yeah, pretty much spot on 2 months if you count the fact that, oh, well, this year's a leap year, so you do get the extra 29th.
Come on. I think
you can get loads done in 2 months, can't you? That's a good amount of time. If you're pressing on, that sounds like you're not letting up.
I think so. The other good thing about it is, so like this, the whole like front section, a lot of it's like just repetitive building. For the border design, luckily, like these 1x4, my light's really bright, so you can't really tell, but my the like 1x4x3 tan bricks are on the pad wall, so they've been like an absolute godsend. And we wanted to have something that was a little bit like more interesting to look at. So this is still like one of the pieces that I was using for a prototype, but just to make the border a little bit more interesting, we're just going to run dark tan wedge plate and play along the front just to give a little bit of something like more interesting to look at. But like a lot of it's repetitive building, so I've got to build like 16 of these or something, I think. And they don't take that long, he says. So
yeah,
same with a lot of the top panels and stuff. Like it is kind of just repetitive, so it's just a case of like sitting down. They're just different texturing for the sound and stuff. It's not too taxing other than the mental strain of like just repetitive building, but you sit down for an hour or so and then you like kind of get into a bit of a swing of things. So.
That's when you need to like Tom Sawyer when he's like getting people to pay him to like paint the fence. It's sort of like, you know, with your members channel.
Yeah,
I'll be here and you can help build my mock.
I've already wrote Paige into doing a lot of the sorting and they've like pre-prep for it, so like that that's one thing. But yeah, they need some help on the building.
And then Sam, remember when we said we wanted to start building this in September? I guess I'm the pessimist. And Ricky PY, did he say which year this September was?
I quite like the relationship between you and Sam. Of you're like the optimistic, visionary project manager, and Sam's the jaded dev who
actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to mock building and like knows what the task ahead is. I'm there very like blasé, like, oh, it'll be fine, we can sort this. And he's like, do you know how much time and like effort this is going to take?
So it's like the Steve Jobs and the Wozniak. So it takes the Steve Jobs. Yeah, of course we can do it.
Yeah,
and the Wozniak sitting there pulling his hair out, trying to figure out how to make this thing work.
Sam would be fine if he just put his mechs down for 5 minutes. And started...
Oh, brilliant! Fantastic. All right, yeah, no, that's. I'm kind of excited on your behalf. I really look forward to seeing that. So, brilliant. So, with that one brick stud, what are you sort of building on or working on? I know sort of following something like tech is kind of like good luck.
Yeah, so I've just finished the cantina, and this was the last bit, which is the Jawa shop, which connects with the big cantina, and an incredible building experience has come to an end. It's brilliant. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a set I've been wanting for a while, just never really got round to getting it. Because there's obviously other sets to purchase, but yeah, it's brilliant. So I can't wait just to connect it all together. Well, actually, it can't. Wow, really, I've got to find space for it first, and then I can't wait to display it. And then it's brilliant. But this Panda Bobber figure is amazing as well. Yeah,
oh, cool. Yeah.
He literally looks like he talks out of his ass. He
Don't
does.
say that. I won't be able to unsee it now.
But no, it is. It's just packed full of detail. It's not repetitive, and obviously you get a war chest full of minifigures, which adds so much life to the set, and some really obscure characters as well. So like characters that don't really speak in the original, in the film, The New Hope. Like there's a character called Labria, if I've pronounced that correctly. Just an alien in the back that doesn't really speak, and another character called Cabe as well. It's just fantastic. They just went all out with this set, and yeah, brilliant. I can't wait for, fingers crossed that Lego Star Wars can design something of like of equivalent. So like a big build that's full of figures. So kind of hoping for an Ewok village at some point in the future, or Cloud City would be a good one.
Well, they've done the Cloud City one, so and this popped up early because obviously that's the I think the second in this Master Builders series, which has been on the shelf for a long time now.
It has.
You had the Cloud City as the first one, and so like much like what you say, you get a decent sort of play scale, lots of minifigures, figures you might not otherwise get. It's good build, all those. Yeah. Sort of, are we getting one next year? Is to me. Has part of the Master Builder series now been broken off into dioramas because you kind of get the figures and kind of interesting builds?
Really hope not, because it's just, I agree like with what you're saying. It's just a fantastic, like I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I'm not like, I couldn't name you things, like don't put me on Mastermind for it, but I just thought the Cantina was fantastic, like the whole building experience with it, like what the work they put into the book, so you're reading as you're going along, and all the minifigs and stuff. If they had another set like that out next year, oh my gosh,
yeah,
it would fly off the shelves. I'd be there day one. Like it'd be so good to like be able to piece things together.
I think there's a chance that I think we kind of know what the big set is going to be next year, and it looks like it could be a set that does have a lot of minifigures in. If the rumors,
the sail barge, is it?
The sail barge, yeah.
Sail barge. Oh, okay.
Would you class that as a Master Builders?
That's a easy. What is a Master Builders?
What is it? Because my definition would be more of like it's a scene that they're trying to depict rather than like a singular ship or.
Yeah, I'm sick of ships. I'm gonna say it for everyone. Like we need a little bit of variety,
Well, if it's the ship with the, I don't know what the worm's called, the sinkhole thing, and like that whole scene. Sarlacc, that's it. Yeah.
I would really like that. I can see whether it classes as Master Builders or not. I think the sail barge would be hugely popular. It's one of the few original trilogy UCS sets that I think I would pick up. I really do like the design of the sail barge. I think it would be really interesting. Funnily enough, we were rumored a little while ago to get a Jabba's palace or Jabba's throne room diorama set. And my suspicion was that got pushed back until the sail barge come out, and so that then they're producing the molded Jabba at the same time. They can then put him in two sets. And then so I think that could be like a 2025 diorama set along with the sail barge. But I think the sail barge would be hugely popular. I'd love for them to do that.
That was so specific, Tech. I think we need to note that down so that if that happens, we'll know that you have some insight info. That was just like,
it's just such a like it's. If you look back at some of the like big molded creatures, or like Jabba as an example, they didn't just put him in one set. The fact we got the leak, when all those sets got leaked, was that this year or the end of last year?
Yeah, no, it was beginning of this year, so like February, I want to say.
Yeah, the sail barge was one of those. So it kind of, in my head at least, makes sense. That's my wild prediction that we'll get a sail barge at the end of this year or end of next year, and then.
Well, if they do the sail barge first, they can put Jabba in it, and then he'll be worth a lot of money, and then they can bring out the diorama the following year, so that after everyone's paid, absolutely a lot of money for him on it.
You know exactly.
I was going to say that already, setting it up for that argument, aren't they?
Yeah. But also, another big clue or a big hint towards a Jabba sail barge, which is that incredible Boba Fett minifigure we got in that mech. No way are they going to make such an incredible minifigure exclusive to a tiny mech set. They're definitely going to use that Boba Fett again. Most likely in the Boba Fett, in the sail barge set as well as the Jabba's palace diorama set that they're gonna do.
I like the idea of the micro fighter with a Jabba the Hutt mold.
You can just see them doing that, but it raises there's so many things going on, because we've got obviously Star Wars and Marvel have had a few issues lately, and it's starting to really spread out. In a big license holder of both of those is Hasbro, and because it hasn't been selling well, like between Marvel and because the films haven't been driving toy sales, basically they've had to lay off about 25% of their staff. Like, so it's really.
What Hasbro is that? Do you say, or Disney?
Sorry,
is that Hasbro? Hasbro,
yeah,
you're right,
because they do a lot of the toys for Marvel and Star Wars, which, you know, lately it's sort of like, well, what are we actually selling? Because a lot of the properties are struggling. You look at next year, it's like, okay, yes, you've had the writers' strike, but I think they are starting to rethink some of it. But, you know, Skeleton Crew has been pushed back. There's not much that we're really getting content-wise from Star Wars. Like, I think maybe Acolytes, or I can never pronounce it. Maybe Tales of the Jedi.
Acolytes. I did watch a video yesterday, funny enough. There's a few things. There's Acolytes, Skeleton Crew. There's a game coming out. There...
Tales of the Jedi Season 2.
Oh, yeah, Tales of the Jedi.
Maybe also Bad Batch as well.
Yeah, I think... was it the IGN video that you watched?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I watched that one. I also watched some other channel. IGN seemed to be very like official and like talking about and like very speculative about like dates and stuff. But I had heard a few of the like Star Wars commentary channels say that Skeleton Crew was meant to be coming out like from early December this year for like 8 weeks or whatever the episode run was. I've heard that that's now getting pushed back till like the same time next year, so we're not going to get that until December.
They said about Andor as well, didn't they?
Andor's now 2025.
Yeah, Andor would be the Mandalorian. I think is going to come after is due to come out after Andor. So I think Bad Batch will be the first thing we see next year. Then probably either Acolyte or Tales of the Jedi. Tales of the Jedi they dump in like one episode in like one release anyway. So and then it will be probably Skeleton Crew. See, when you think of like the last couple of years for Star Wars, it feels like it could be quite a light year for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So with that,
which is mad saying that's a light year. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
That's a light year.
Like 4 or 5
it was like what, a decade or 2 decades between.
You know, we maybe they're rethinking the Rey movie, but that's 2025 at the earliest. Like, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in a long time. And so with a lot of those shows being pushed back, I mean, on the Marvel side of things, the only thing really coming out next year in terms of movies is Deadpool 3, and hearing the rumors of that, Disney are really interfering with that now, and Ryan Reynolds is not making the film that he wants to make. So it seems to be that now is going to be more of a setup for whatever they're going to do in 5 or 6. So that could be a bit of a train wreck, because I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Deadpool, isn't it? Is that it is separate and it's not like the MCU, right?
But it looks like they are gonna use it now to either do a Secret Wars setup or to be able to bring the Mutants X-Men into MCU proper, because obviously you've had the Fox version of it. Yeah. So you've got a couple of these, and so Marvel's light on. If Star Wars is a little bit light on, it opens up more opportunities for a Jabba sail barge or an original trilogy, or maybe even some Clone Wars stuff.
So, well, when's the new TV series of Harry Potter due out? We'll just open it up for the Harry
Oh,
Potter fans.
Yeah. Couple of
Oh,
years.
it's a couple of years. Okay.
Yeah. It's still in the early stages. They've not even found who's going to be being the replacement for Daniel Radcliffe, really. So,
does anyone else not think that that's like too? I know it. When you think about it, it's quite a long time ago. But like, I was speaking to my friend Rosie about this a lot, and he seems to think it's going to be like really popular, and it's going to be like that new thing that completely reinvents Harry Potter or like sparks a load more interested. But like, I still feel like it's not that long ago to be going over the same story. I know they're going to go more in depth, like closer to the original books and stuff. I just don't. I can't see it picking off. Like you look at the Game of Thrones prequel and the Lord of the Rings prequel, they didn't take off to like people hoped they would.
I
think they're just trying to knit the generations together, basically, because we're getting like still the kids now starting to read the books and stuff, and like I think it's just a case of trying to knit the generations together. Because I've just started watching the new this is what I think of like when I think about the new Harry Potter series. Is I don't know if anyone started watching the new Percy Jackson series.
Yeah,
and like a big message that they're definitely trying to get across with that, like most else, is like the diversity. So I think that they're going to really be like using this series and Harry Potter to kind of push that more, and also keep truer to the books, because also that's what like they're doing in Percy Jackson, because I think they're starting to get the gist with everything across all different fan bases. That is what fans like. That's why like Henry Cavill left like The Witcher and all this kind of thing. So I think they're just going to like take the opportunity to like hit a few nails on the head. But I'm like with you, Tech. Like it doesn't feel like that long ago, but I suppose it is. But like, is Daniel Radcliffe going to get cast in this? Because did he not say he would like love to play Lupin or something like this if there was something?
See, that would be even more jarring, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's maybe a cameo. Maybe
like
unsee it, a mask or something.
I struggle to watch him in anything else, let alone to watch him in like in Harry Potter.
He's really good. I love how he's just gone completely.
It's like playing Weird
Al.
Al.
Do anything. I need to watch that. But like that Horns film was really good.
It was weird.
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Have you seen what's the one where he's like a vicar or something, and he's like, I can't listen to that song now. Not that I ever listened to it. The one where he's like, they'll be charging 6 white horses when they come or something. Has anyone seen that video?
I think I've seen. I think I saw it on it. Yeah.
It is Harry Potter in like drag, and it is the most like
yes.
Like search it on YouTube, and you'll be able to see that.
I think going back to
you might need to be careful with that if you're searching Harry Potter drag.
Be prepared for what you might see.
Yeah, you'll get plenty of what is it? Voldemort's doing the thing. Hermione.
It's the most bizarre thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence a little bit with the series. I mean, I get that because it's not that long ago, it's just over 10 years, and I still think if there's like new fans of today, they'll still love Harry Potter, even though it's 15. Well, it started 20 years ago. It's like I wasn't around when Star Wars was first made, the original trilogy, and I'm a 90s child, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't need a remake of the original trilogy. I'm not 100% convinced it's going to be a success. I can understand that there was a lot from the books cut out for it to fit into the films, and there's so many scenes in the books that weren't included in the scene. Some of my favorite scenes in the books, like Half-Blood Prince, which is my favorite book, when Voldemort applied for the Defense Against the Dark Arts post, and you could see the effects that sort of like at that time he was sort of, I think he was on his third Horcrux, and you could see the effects it was having on him. And Dumbledore was like, no, you're not going nowhere near Hogwarts. So there's so many scenes that they are going to introduce in this new series, and I believe there's going to be 8 episodes for each book. So there's going to be 8 episodes for Philosopher's Stone, and then again in Chamber of Secrets, so they can go into a lot of depth. But the films were incredibly successful. It was a worldwide phenomenon, and you can't remake gold. You can't remake it easy anyway. You can't do that.
Something it has got going for it. Sorry,
Go on,
mate.
sorry.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Something
Go
it
on.
has got going for it is that it's HBO behind it. There's few companies that could pick this up. Like the pressure to get it right is massive.
Yeah.
Like,
what's going to be quite pivotal is you got, because obviously there's issues with certain communities and J.K. Rowling. She has to be. I think she is an executive producer or a director of some sort. I'm not sure, but she has to be included. You can't exclude J.K. Rowling. You know, I'm a J.K. Rowling fan. You know, I know about her beliefs, and a lot of them I agree with. You know, but that's a conversation for another day. But they have to include her. They have to. You can't exclude the god of that universe, really. But
I mean, the equivalent would be to some extent is obviously Star Wars post George Lucas. You know, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Like, it's kind of like, and a lot of, you know, in generalizing the good stuff that we've seen, you know, generally Dave Filoni has a hand on it, who worked very closely with George Lucas, and you know, is kind of trying to manage that vision, or not, will continue that. So it's it becomes a bit of a really interesting question with that.
What I'd like to have seen is them actually maybe sort of go down the route that Star Wars has done in recent years. Go and create other stories in the universe, and you know, make a dark series like Andor. You know, dark. You know, you could do that. You could have a series based on Voldemort, and you could make it really dark. Pick off where the film's finished, and you could do all sorts.
I think a really good character to follow would be Snape, to see how he really turned into became a dark wizard, and then how, you know, and then the whole. I mean, we know why he came back, but even
going back and like the 4 founding houses and like the start of the school, I think that would be if they want to come and like breathe life into Harry Potter for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years or whatever, like going back and like the founding of Hogwarts, I think could be like a really interesting story to tell. I think I didn't read the books, but I think it was touched on a little bit in the books, and you get bits of it, but that for the wider audience I think would be really interesting, and then from there you can go on and do other things in other time zones and stuff.
Following the Star Wars playbook, you do the middle, then you go to the prequels, and
that's it. And then you can carry on.
The Hogwarts Legacy game was really good. That came out last year.
That was really good.
Yeah. I don't know how much involvement J.K. Rowling had in that, but they were really faithful.
She was involved, but she wasn't one of the storytellers as much. They did keep very close ties with the studios to make sure everything looked and felt the same, to keep the lore there.
But she has to be included. I mean, a lot of her views, some I disagree with, some I can understand, but she has to be included. She is Harry Potter, you know. She's one that created it.
Yeah,
sometimes you have to just put, even though some of her views are controversial and so on, you might have to just put that aside just for a bit.
On the flip side of that, though, I would say that like if they want Harry Potter to be a thing for years to come and like long stay, like Star Wars is going to way outlive George Lucas, right? And like Marvel is going to way outlast it. Like Marvel's going to be here around for years post like Stan Lee. So like there will be a time where she's not here to have a hand in the story. So
but I think the thing that, you know, if you use Star Wars as a playbook, okay, you had the original trilogy ended with Return of the Jedi, but then you had a lot of like Dark Horse comics and novelizations, and like they kept on kind of, okay, now it's called Legacy, but building out different worlds and different ideas. And I'm not sure Harry Potter has done that very well.
No.
Again,
not
me looking.
But then I like that when they did do the books, one of the things that George Lucas said is when people write in the books, they had to keep the lore. So if somebody wrote something in one of the books, they had to keep that in as a follow-on for any other book that came after or before that. It had to make sense through the entire series of books.
Yeah.
So when in the books, Han Solo had kids. Those kids had to be in those books for
Yeah.
every book that came after that kind of thing. So yeah,
Going forward, so yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, so it wasn't all chopping and changing. You didn't have multiverses of Star Wars, It was all,
Did anyone just go crazy with it and write a book where loads of stuff happens? That's just really weird, and then everyone else has to follow on.
At some point, they're going to have to. Well, they may do. They're going to have to bring the Cursed Child into a film because that's hugely popular as a theatre show.
Play, is it? Yeah. That was released as a book, right?
It was released as a screenplay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, not a screenplay. Yeah. You could read the script. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Well, the one thing I know we got through everyone apart from TJ in terms of what they're actually building. So, TJ, what are you sort of? Don't want to leave you out. What are you sort of working on?
So, not building anything currently, like at the moment right now, but I'll show you guys the project I've been working on. It's this thing.
Oh,
this is my next big Ninjago super modular thing. It's gonna be the Temple of Air-Jitsu.
Nice.
Wow.
So far it's just the first floor and part of the stairs that I've done. But this is going to be 3 floors tall. It's going to have the 2 side buildings. It's going to sit on 9 32 by 32 base plates.
Jeez.
So it's. I had originally wanted to do 4, but I tried measuring it out. First, I tried getting the 4 base plates, and then I tried actually building up the main temple, and I realized that 4 wasn't enough.
Well, you happen to be talking to tech at the same
time. Bigger. I mean, it was. The other modular that I have planned that'll come after this one, which is Borg Tower, that'll have to be 9 32 by 32 base plates, but I knew that already.
Yeah.
So this will just kind of scale closer to that, I suppose, or at least be more easily connectable. Whereas that wrong direction, that thing behind me, I'm gonna have to build a couple base plates in front of it or behind it to connect it to the bigger ones. But yeah, it's slowly coming along. That's what it looks like underneath.
Because what do you have? Do you have much planned for like the surrounding the temple?
Yeah, a bit. There's a couple smaller buildings that are next to the temple that I have to build, and then there's a bit of like foliage and stuff, and then a bridge in front with some water underneath. I try and get it as close to accurate as I can, but I have to make some compromises. I had to do it with the temple, and I'm gonna have to do it with this temple as well. So,
is it compromises because of like time and cost, or just
some of it's time and cost, some of it's just with those Ninjago buildings in the show, the interior was a lot bigger than it looked, or than it should have been for the exterior.
Yeah.
So there's some of those designs. Some of it's like the general layout of it, because the Temple of Air-Jitsu is in the middle of nowhere. So to integrate it into a city is going to be a little bit more difficult with the water and all that. Like that temple, I put 2 base plates of water in front of it. It doesn't have that in the show. I just did it to make it match with the Ninjago City type layout so it could connect to the modulars and whatnot. And I'm going to have to do a bit of the same with this. There was like a small little pool of water in the front of it that the bridge kind of goes over, but I'm going to have to make that a little bit bigger. So,
cool. So, because I remember, when you first started doing the other one, I think it was possibly on a London Bridge Brick stream. And again, you're probably at a similar sort of stage, and you didn't quite appreciate just how big and how detailed and intricate that you end up making it. So,
yeah.
And this is for your aim for Brickworld Chicago?
Yeah, this will be for Brickworld 2024. I am planning on including these, which are from the original Temple of Air-Jitsu set. That's why these black versions of them are in as a placeholder. So that because this is from 2015, so I'm worried about the brown. It might be brittle.
Yeah,
so I don't want to take it before placing it down. So yeah, so this has been very much the work in progress. I need to get back to working on this. I have a bunch of red brick that I've got off the pad wall it's all covered with stuff, but it's slowly coming along. I hope to have more progress with it soon.
Yeah, no, that's going to be amazing. So obviously you've done the other temple, you're working on one. It sounds like you got plans for sort of like another one. Is there sort of like a bigger goal to have them sort of like all come together as one big mock, or is it just...
Yeah, so they're designed to be connectable, so eventually I want to have them all displayed together, have them take up a lot of space, and then yeah, there might even be plans for a train to go around it at some point. We'll see.
Is there an Ninjago train?
I mean,
or would this be your own?
It'd be a snake train.
Because
there was some of you may know there was like concept for a snake train Ninjago set in 2012 that never actually made it as an official set. So I'd probably try and replicate that snake train and have it run around the city.
That would be cool. Yeah. So with the interiors and the things, obviously watching the show, and as you say, the interiors are bigger than the exteriors and that. Are you, in building these and piecing them together, do you just go off the show reference, or do you have like some sort of visual dictionary type guides, or how do you sort of figure out what's going on?
Now, I mostly do show reference. I try and look and see, which rooms are the most important. With the temple, there was only like one main room ever shown of that. So that was pretty easy. I just had to kind of include that space. With the Temple of Airjitsu, there's a few different rooms, few different highlights. So I got to make sure to hit all of those different ones. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, wow. Because it feels like as a casual Ninjago fan, they're always kind of redoing some sort of flavor of the Airjitsu temple, depending upon what season it is. So, are you sort of sticking to a particular season, or do they kind of have a common thread, or what's your decision-making process with that?
The temple, when it first appeared in season 5, was haunted. It was all boarded up and worn down and very spooky. But then after Day of the Departed, it got turned back into a normal temple where the ninja could live and not worry about ghosts. So I'm kind of going off the season 7 interior. But I'm going to see if I can, when I go for the lights, I'm going to see if I can have them change color from yellow to green to kind of give that haunted effect.
Yeah. The green being the supernatural color. It's usually, the haunted colors are usually green or purple because they're not, natural colors.
Yeah. And then, of course, the other thing with the temple is that after a certain point, it starts floating in the air because of some stuff that happened in an alternate timeline. It ended up floating in the air. I wanted to do that at one point. I was thinking about that, but
that's making a rod for your own back.
Yeah, maybe in the future. I am designing it so that the buildings are detachable from the base. Part of that's for transport, but also if I decide to build a floating base in the future, it'll be easier to just put the buildings on top.
With that, yeah. Oh wow, no, it certainly sounds like there's quite a bit of ambition with that there, and similar to tech, you're certainly now starting to get us excited about what you're going to be doing with it. So, do you, with your other temple, when you displayed that, do you get like hardcore Ninjago fans coming up and nitpicking it, or are they just happy to sort of see something like that at that scale?
I got a few Ninjago fans who recognized it and thought it was really cool. Yeah, and I talked with them a little bit about what it was. Part of the issue with that is that I just called it Temple of Fortitude, and I didn't put Ninjago in front of it. So most people were just like, "Oh, this is a temple." No idea what it's from. So yeah, so this year with this one, I'll be putting Ninjago Temple of Fortitude
in front of it. So
yeah,
making it somewhat idiot proof. So
yeah,
and. Yeah, I would imagine then too. You might also get more of the kids going, "Oh, Ninjago! Oh, yeah, that's."
Yeah.
And yeah, Brick Stage Pass sort of making some comments there. Okay, cool, excellent, great to see a couple of really ambitious projects there, which look forward to seeing more of those in the future on social or popping up at shows. And go through and have another one of these highlights or snapshots or lowlights from some other streams that we've done earlier in the year.
See, I don't mind
treading on Lego because we have, say...
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no. Standing on dried pasta is much worse than standing on Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, well, we have star-shaped pasta, and that's quite pointy. It's really good.
So if you want to build up your tolerance to standing on Lego, just stand on dried pasta for a while, and then you'll love it.
It's fine. So those IKEA rugs, like the really shaggy ones, the amount of Lego they lost in that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's in the carpet now. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
This little kid came in with his mom.
I'm assuming there's more to that story.
Kid came in, yeah, like they do. Tune in next week, folks.
Hand them back.
Which will be the 2-year anniversary. We are doing a Q&A. So if you want to submit questions, we will make up answers.
How'd you get on with your build, and what do you sort of got coming up?
Well, I regrettably built this. Wouldn't recommend it. And that's done.
They might like this because they might not have to queue for hours and hours to get shot in the head and have to queue for hours and hours to go again. That's usually what happens to me.
Yeah.
Some 3-year-old shoots you in the head.
Yeah.
As soon as he loses, it's like they're cheating again.
I thought they smell funny, but that explains it. Not that I sniff my Lego.
And that Hedwig, it looks like Hedwig's just given birth.
I like it because you look at a certain angle, it looks like it's got a penis and a pair of balls.
Now I know why I like it.
You should have just spilled all your Lego on the floor and made that woman walk across it in bare feet.
You know something? In a
Elsa's Ice Castle. I like that one. And I've been putting that on ice for a while. Thank you, you got that one.
Oh, it's mini
I've turned into Trevor.
Like my friends bought one of those IKEA rugs, like the really shaggy ones. The amount of Lego they lost in that.
Right.
It's in the carpet now. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right. I have balls now. And I'm of the age my balls do not need to drop, so please don't flip that.
That was so good.
We love our Nicole. So again, with Nicole, it's a matter of which clips do you leave out. So
Yeah.
but, we hope that she gets better soon. And then some of the on the earlier episodes when the Brick Pods were joining us, they had some great stuff as well. So. Cool. So just highlighting some of the different bits and pieces from the year in review. And speaking of which, we've done one round of sort of going through and sort of our favorite sort of sets that we built from this year. So maybe just sort of go around, pick up on a couple more for different people. Madlib, has there been a few other things that you've sort of enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I really like the No Way Home set. I got that day one. Spider-Man fan. Of course, it came with the 3 movie live-action Spider-Man. Had a number of figs, which was great. And I mean, when you compare that to the other set that came out, the Endgame Battle set that came out, I just thought, well, this one is it's a bit more of a substantial build. It's got so much posability as well. And obviously now we're getting an extension for it as well, which is just brilliant. So for me, that was a no-brainer. That was a day one's buy. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it still sits up in the living room, so proudly displayed. So yeah, I really, really like that.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, I think the Spider-Man, particularly the Tobey Maguire one, the only time that was prior was like way back in one of the first releases when they were doing the license in like 2002 or something. So yeah, to get them all again like that.
Wasn't the Andy Garfield one was like at a Comic-Con
Yeah, I don't think they actually released any.
He was like worth thousands.
Yeah, I don't think we got any Amazing Spider-Man sets,
No.
right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We got like a polybag of Electro, and that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was an Electro,
Yeah.
right? There was a blue Electro, but
yeah,
the figs in that set are brilliant.
They are good.
Battle.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of look at that, and that's normally a £90 set with, you know, what is it, 9 great figs. Okay, the build is what it is. Or you get the X-Men X-Jet for 80, which has 4 figs and half the stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
So,
I'm more likely to display the X-Men one. I'm not buying it at 75 quid, but I've taken apart the No Way Home. Maybe, but the figs are awesome.
Cool. All right, Brig Askew, another sort of set that you liked or built this year.
I'll do one from this year. It's the Insects Ideas set. I have to give a shout to that.
Yeah.
Really like that one. Just really interesting. I didn't think I'd like it from the initial submission, but when it was legoified. It was just awesome. And like I said at the time, it's kind of like a mix between botanical and the bugs. So you've got a botanical bit of it, and really interesting techniques, and just looks good on display as well.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those ones where it benefited from whatever Lego did to it. Because you look at the original submission, and it's like, if it goes through like this is going to be an easy pass. And then when you saw it, actually, and then when you mentioned the trees and stuff, you know, really interesting. It's like, put that on the radar. So
So that's quite high up on my list. Surprisingly, that one I didn't expect.
No, and it's good that you can have a set which, you know, isn't like a £300 or £400 thing, and And the other nice thing with the No Way Home is, you know, it's budget friendly, and particularly you can get that on a good deal. So brilliant. All right, Tech, another one for you for highlight for the year.
Okay, so anyway, other ones I don't actually own. We'll go with the Dreams Nightmare Shark Ship. I do like to collect Lego boats, and this was always the standout set from Dreams for me. I don't intend on getting too many of the other sets, to be honest. I don't need to go and dive into a whole nother theme, but seeing the ship was really, really cool. I love that, and maybe this is something that had Hidden Side done, it would have been hugely more successful, and we may still even been getting sets now. Is they've got the like 3-in-1 element to a lot of the Dream sets, where you have it as this like crazy, wacky, funky thing, and then you can have it as another crazy, wacky, funky thing, but then you can also like tone it down into something that's maybe a bit more usable and that would appeal to people outside of the people that want the crazy, wacky, fun stuff. And so that is fantastic for me. Like I said, I'm always a big fan of when Lego tackle boat. It gives a lot of the is it the Silent Mary from
Pirate of the Caribbean.
It kind of with the way the exposed ribs and stuff. It kind of is a bit of a throwback to that for me, or I see some of that in that, and that's one set I didn't get to pick up. So I'm gonna go with that one. I think that's a really fun set.
Yeah, it was certainly for me the highlight. Managed to get that Amazon Germany at a pre-order for like 40% off. So it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. The box was smashed to hell, but I mean that ended up in the bin anyhow. But no, it's interesting. I didn't really pay. You know, it's Dark Age, the Queen Mary. The thing which I did like about the Shark Ship was the way that they did the ribs, and it wasn't your traditional. This is a pirate ship sort of thing. So the fact that I have to have a look at the Queen Mary again in terms of seeing how they did the ribbing and stuff like that. But the other thing with the Dreams stuff, which I really liked. And it reminds me a little bit of the Monkey Kid in terms of the artwork that they have in the books Like they've actually taken their time and they've done it well. And we were going for me, it seemed backwards with instruction books where they all went with the bland white covers. They generally didn't do much on the inside, but this, as an artist, I can look at those, really appreciate them. They've actually put the time and money into doing those illustrations. So yeah, it's great that way. So great, the shark ship from Dreams. Bonnie, another sort of highlight for you from the year.
I feel like I'm being very sort of predictable, but another one that I really liked for nostalgia reasons and just thought they did it really well was the Hocus Pocus set. I just thought that was a great set. Despite it still being one of the more expensive ones, I think it was worth it. I think it was one where, a lot of people weren't 100% happy with, like, for example, the Up House because of the scale of it. But then for that reason, that was why it was a cheaper set for people to grab. But they didn't cheapen out on the Hocus Pocus set, the Idea set. And I'm glad they didn't, because the amount of details that went into that to tell the story very accurate to the film made it a really satisfying build. And I think it just displays really well. It's one of those sets that I think people could buy as a standalone. They don't need to be particularly a Lego collector. They could just be, an old Disney fan collecting for the 30th year anniversary, or because the new film came out or whatever, or just like a Halloween display. And it just, especially because I've got a light kit for it. I've not installed the bloody thing, but like I think it's got so much potential even on its own. And yeah, I just think it's a fantastic build. So I was really, really more than happy to pick that up on release date. And I remember being there at the Lego store for them opening that day, and it was the same day the Disney Castle came out, amongst like all the Disney Wave basically stuff.
Yeah.
And Hocus Pocus was by far the most popular set picked up that day. That was the one that they were having to restock quicker, because I think it was like, for most people, it was somewhere a happy medium in terms of the cost as well. So it wasn't like, I suppose if you compare it to the bigger sets that come out earlier that year, like Rivendell and things like this, like with like the super high price points, people were happy to maybe pay what they thought it was worth. So yeah, I was so happy to get that one. But other than that, like, I think other sets that I put in my favorites were already mentioned, like Gringotts. I've not actually got Gringotts yet, but that is like at the very top of my wish list. I've already mentioned the museum, and then Rivendell. Rivendell was just like in a league of its own. Quite obviously, literally, because it's the only Lord of the Rings set that came out. But yeah, that took some time. That was a joint build with me and Aaron. That was like a great one to be able to build with like someone else. And yeah, I can see like it being quite easy to maybe sit and like watch most of the films whilst you're building the set, because there's just so much, especially like the roof and stuff like this. Like that's but yeah, I remember going into the Lego store that day as well for release day, so I was the first one to pick that one up. That's quite an eventful day, quite an eventful year. And there was lots of people just coming in that weren't able to buy it yet. I remember talking to this guy, this poor guy, I felt so bad, and he was like, I can't actually afford to buy this yet, but I just want to come in and see it on release day. And he was just like nerding out and talking to everyone about it. It was so nice. But yeah, I think that was like a really nice hype for the whole community with that one set coming out, Rivendell. Again, like much like Star Wars, like I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, but I'm not like a hardcore nerd, but I appreciated that set. And
It's been so good introducing my wife to the extended versions.
oh, I'm sure she's loving you for that one.
Yeah, she doesn't know that the last one's 4.5 hours long. So yeah,
I keep that a secret. But yeah,
I'm told her that. Yeah,
I'm excited for that, to see if what else they might bring out in like another sort of like little wave next year. Be really interested to see. I think that, and what we were talking about earlier with Star Wars, if they do what we're like all kind of praying for, then it's going to be an expensive year, because I'm just going to get warped into buying all these big expensive sets yet again. Like,
yeah, well, the Lord of the Rings, the rumor is the Eye Tower. I can't remember the
Barad-dûr.
There we go, that thing. Yeah. So yeah,
it's that way. Once you've bought one, like you need to keep buying them to, build it all up. So it's just I've started going down a rabbit hole now. But the only other honourable mentions I would say for this year, like I think we've all said that Friends has done really well. Like they're definitely starting to appeal to more AFOLs. I would say, like the Botanical Garden set and things like that. But I think something that hasn't really been mentioned too much is the city stuff, like the ship with the orca. I've not got that set yet, but that is on my list. Like I think that was actually on a sale somewhere recently with like Boxing Day sales, and I was eyeing it up, and I was like, "Is today the day?" Because some of their city sets, like especially the marine ones, look really really cool.
Yeah, I missed out on the last Ocean Explorer big like freight ship thing, and I still kick myself about that because I really like that ship. I know then they don't tend to look the best value for money, but I will be getting that Orca one. In fact, Matt, you asked us to like prepare some minifigures as well, and I allotted a spot on my minifigure list for that Orca because I am like, a huge fan of orcas. Like as I was like on my arm, like I love them, so I was so happy to see them finally in Lego form. It could have done with a calf as well to go with it, but I'm sure hopefully it'll come. But yeah, that orca ship is fantastic. I will be getting that'll be high on my list to get early part of next year.
Yeah, the is that the Arctic Explorer ship? Is that what it's
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because when you mentioned it, there's a decent sale recently, it's like I usually don't miss those things, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, I remember why I said no to this because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's like, City, you've got to be doing something really impressive. Okay, yeah, great. I suppose, yeah, that one, and then at some stage, hopefully next year, we might get the Jaws one. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the shark and that. Yeah, and we won't get distracted onto that. Okay, great. Wondering, you mentioned your top 5 before. You just want to elaborate on one of your other ones that you selected, maybe number 2?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, Rivendell is definitely. I mean, yeah, it's super pricey, but and then when you pay that price, you should expect something special. That Rivendell set is something special. It's got everything. Disney camera. No one's mentioned that. That's a very very good set. And you know, I'm gonna probably have to say so far because I bought my wife for Christmas the new Disney castle. She's actually on bag 6, and this is what it's looking like at the moment. She's just starting to build it.
Oh, nice.
And because she has the other castle because she had it last year, and that's an amazing build. But the way this set is going, it looks like it's going to be an improvement on the previous castle. I'm not saying that the other castles is terrible because it's not, and I think this set helps complement that set in a unique way. But this castle is like 800 pieces and more. It's really fleshed out. The colors are incredible. If you like gold, you're gonna like this set. Sand got gold. You've got sand blue as well, and it just looks very very nice. And the minifigures in this is looking strong. I mean, CMF worthy minifigures. You know, just looking at the Cinderella minifigure, it looks outstanding. But yeah, I might put the castle there. I don't think it's had much love across the year because of, you know, we had the other castle not too long ago. But I can see Lego maybe creating, you know, maybe every 2 years another castle located somewhere around the world. They might make castles every 2 years, you know. But what's been really a benefit for this set is I think sometimes we forget how old the other castle was. I think it came out in 2016. I think it had a shelf life of 8 years.
Oh, wow.
So
really long.
they needed to, perhaps remaking it was probably the right idea, because since then there's been new bricks, new techniques, new colors. Putting all that together, you're going to make something, you know, significantly better. And I think it's doing that. And there's so many great printed pieces in this as well, which is just it does look good. And see my wife building it, she's so in love with the set.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'd be very surprised if there's never a Disney castle on the shelf of like that big scale. I think much the same. It's going to stick around for quite a number of years for all the reasons you've said. I mean, you look at extra 800 pieces. I think the price only went up by about £50, which, given inflation and things these days, that's actually quite reasonable.
Yeah.
And yeah, much the same. We've started to build that and had the old one, and it's you can tell they've gone through and they've just improved and tweaked a lot of the things.
Yeah.
And it's nice they've gone for, okay, the first one had all the classic Disney animated characters in terms of Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, all that, and then these ones they've gone with some of the princesses and the princes. So yeah, it's definitely one which I think, as what you said, because you had the original one, it's not like a Rivendell, which is completely out of left field and you've never seen before. So
yeah,
excellent with that one. Okay, TJ, another set that you've sort of liked or thought highly of this year.
So I've picked one, Ninjago one, not surprisingly. I think it's kind of flown under people's radars. It is Zane's Ice Dragon creature. Came out at the beginning of the year. It's a really nice dragon. I love this dragon so much.
It's a beast.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, there is an alternate build to turn it into like a mech type thing. I've never actually done the alternate build because I love the main dragon so much. But it is great. It has these lovely pieces.
Yeah, those are so
trans
cool.
blue color. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah,
It reminds me of that. Is it a bone dragon? Was that Ninjago?
Yeah, the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon.
Yeah.
This is a little similar, with a bit more of an icy.
Yeah.
It's insane, of course. Yeah.
No, you can see it's just all around, really solid.
It's really great. And they have seats for 2 minifigs because there were 2 ninja. Well, one of them's a samurai, but 2 members of the ninja team in the set, so they both got a seat, which was very nice. And yeah, it's all around a really lovely set. Yeah, I feel like some of the core sets go under the radar a bit for Ninjago because the first core wave wasn't as good, but the second core wave had some pretty good sets, and this was one of them.
Yeah, no, that's you just put a set on my radar, which I'm gonna have to look at when
do it. I enable everybody. Do it.
So good on it. I've got a red one that's retired last year, and that's awesome. Like, really opposable and fabric wings as well.
Yeah, that's probably the fire dragon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Kai's fire dragon.
It's kids were really big Ninjago fans, and sort of the combination just aging and going into the dark age sort of moved away a little bit from it. But because we managed to do it when the movie had come out, and some of those sets were phenomenal. I can't remember what it is, but one of the mechs with the big wheel at the base.
Yeah, Cole's Quake mech, I think it was called. That was a really good one.
Yeah, so no, it's because they do that whole sort of price point range. They go from like the really cheap pocket money type sets all the way up to the city gardens and that. Sometimes that you can get ones like that just get lost in the shuffle of everything. So
I am actually going to have to get going because I got to grab dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great to have you in, and thank you for being a significant part of the Ahsoka reviews and things that we did in the year. Anything you want to quickly give your socials or your channel a plug?
So next Monday I'll do my usual 7 p.m. Central Time, which is like 1 a.m. in the UK. Lego stream where I'm planning on building January 1st releases. So hopefully I'll have some of that stuff. I also have Lub every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central on Bricksmith's YouTube channel. And I'm the researcher on that stream. I look up everything, partially because I don't understand any of the references. And then this Saturday, I'm hoping to do a stream with Amberlaya. I think it'll be on her Twitch channel on Saturday evening. We haven't nailed down a time yet, but we'll be going over January 1st releases and talking those.
Oh, great. Excellent. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed when you guys done those sort of recaps and things. I mean, in the past, it's been a matter of so much has come out, you miss stuff. And I think this time it's going to be what's coming out that might be interesting. So
Yeah, there's a lot more things coming out. I think previous release waves that we've covered, it's only been like a handful of sets. So this is going to be a lot. There's a lot more. I was looking.
Yeah, the January one is usually about 100, 150 new sets. And then I think the August one is usually the other really big one this summer. So brilliant. Oh, all right then. Thanks very much for joining us and throughout the year and everything. And hope that 2024 is great for you and your channel.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on, not just for this show, for the Ahsoka shows. Thank you for hosting this wonderful Thursday afternoon stream for me. It's Thursday evening for the rest of you. It's really great.
All right then. Thanks, TJ.
Yeah, mate. Guys.
See
you later.
Brilliant, excellent. It's always great to be able to catch up with TJ, and he's certainly, if he doesn't know about it in Ninjago, it's probably not worth knowing. So,
can I give a shout out to best new piece from this year? While
Yeah, sure.
I happen to have them, is the Fern piece.
It's
been coming out in a whole bunch of sets. It's so cool. I love it.
You might like
it.
Bricklink. I think you might like next year. I think there's going to be a double Fern piece.
Yeah, yeah, it's like twice as big, right? It's like double width, and then I think it fits within. I haven't got in here, but like a smaller arch.
Yeah,
arch down from that.
They've already released that piece in like what 4 or 5 different colors.
Yeah. Is it 3 types, 3 greens and white? I think.
And then I think there's like a
another one
magenta or something.
I say, isn't there like a lilac-y kind of color?
Yeah.
I think it was a brown.
Yeah, they've gone in on it. Not mad. I'm sure it's going to appear on Logbook this year.
Yeah, or like if it comes on the pad wall or something. Please put it on.
Do you know what? It's definitely going to come on Pav because it's a super useful piece. Yet it's really awkward to stack.
Yeah.
So they're going
to. Brilliant. Just while we've got that in terms of, is there any other pieces people have seen this year which I know it's sort of a bit off the cuff.
Double the 1x1, but like kind of 2/3 brick.
With the slot. Yes.
Yeah,
is that the one? Oh, okay, that's just the 2-plate brick.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Which I haven't started using properly yet, but it's been quite prominent. It seems like it could be useful.
The one that I really like is the same height as that, and it's like rounded on 2 sides, and it's got this cut on the. I think it came first in the DB5
Speed
Champions.
Yeah.
That's a super useful piece.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm waiting for that to
Pav or something in bulk. Yeah, Logbook. I'll be getting tons of those if they appear because that's just super. The way you can like now just just turn it. Speed Champions are just like groundbreaking for me in terms. I kind of like collecting the cars, but just having the build experience and the stuff you learn and the different techniques that you learn from building Speed Champions is insane. So. That's probably one of my favorite pieces from this year.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like what you say, because it's got that curve on it, you can turn it, and the fact it's a snot, it opens up so many other possibilities with doing things where in the past they either couldn't achieve it or the way to achieve it was so awkward and cumbersome. It's that's a really good shout. Maybe the sort of thing we might do is just quickly either some of the disappointments or the things that you haven't liked or the bad ones. Just before we cue that up, for me, it's take a step back. Set which I really liked. I know it was released last year. I only got to build it this year. It was the tall neck. Great build, good price. Minifig was awesome. It was just, and it was so different. So that would be one of mine. All right. So then going along the things which either had been bad or disappointments, apart from Technic sets which come with no motorcycles with wheels missing. Mad Libby, you want to kick us off?
It was only a bit disappointing because it was pretty much a copy of a previous set. Was the when I did the Nano Gauntlet, because I already had the Infinity Gauntlet. So when I did the Nano Gauntlet, it was nothing new. So I'd already had the experience of doing the Infinity Gauntlet. So when I did the Nano Gauntlet, I just thought, okay, it's just like a mirror image, and there's not as much detail, or it's not as much showy as the Infinity Gauntlet either. So I mean, I've still got it. It was up and out, but yeah.
Do you prefer one over the other? Do you prefer the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, I think.
Sounds of it.
Yeah, it's gold, which is
tiny.
And as I say, I think it's got slightly more like ornate pieces. Like it's more decorated, I'd say. Than
I'm waiting to get that on sale. I need to get that before it retires.
And that's why when it comes to like the Wolverine claw, I'm probably going to get it. But I'm going to wait for it's heavily discounted because it's not going to be exciting to build. It's just, but I do want it as one of the Marvel weapons. So
yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair enough, and certainly understand that. So like if it doesn't have there's shiny gold pieces, and they haven't really done much with it. Brick Skew, that's something which has been a bit of a disappointment or a horrible set.
I think disappointment, and it's because I got caught up in the hype, was the TIE Bomber at the beginning of the year.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I thought it would be really cool, but wasn't that interesting a build. I wasn't too fussed about having it on display. It's been dismantled, and it's not come back out yet. But then, I don't know. For me, I'll happily have an X-wing and a TIE fighter, and I think that's good enough for ships. For Star Wars, I think I went a bit crazy maybe on my own side of things and getting Star Wars chips, and now I just keep those two because they're the classics. But I think it was that one, TIE Bomber.
Okay, that's an interesting sort of choice, and I can sort of see Tech there struggling to process that.
No. I get it. I do get it. I haven't actually bought that TIE Bomber yet, although I have seen it a couple of times at half price, and I think that's probably a pretty fair price. I do want the figures.
That stings a bit as well because it's not worth 60 quid or whatever.
Yes, it's 60. Yeah, I've seen it 35 a lot. I've seen it for 30 a couple of times. Like I said, I probably should have picked it up, but just didn't at the time I was buying other stuff. But for me, and this isn't a bad set by any means, but because like I said, I did flick through Brick Set and I was skimming through stuff, and there's sets that are just like not appeal, like this just don't appeal to me, but they're not necessarily bad sets for what they're trying to achieve, and the price point or the demographic that they're trying to hit is generally okay. The one that I just still scratch my head over is the Palace of Agrabah. It looks great, but is it a Disney Princess set? Is it trying to be a Disney 18+ set? If it's gonna
no
be
one
that,
knows.
It's just I just look at it every time and I scratch my head. I'm like, why has it got the Disney Princess logo on it? 2, why is this the set that you're the first Disney Princess set that you're not putting a mini doll in? Because even if they were going to put, even if they weren't going to do it with a figure, do it with a mini doll. It just baffles me. So that's the only set. I don't think there's been too many sets that I've bought and built that I've been too disappointed with. I did build the Fang Fighter and the TIE Interceptor. I thought the TIE Interceptor is fantastic. The Fang Fighter, I did know this going into it, so it was kind of whatever, but the actual ship in universe rotates quite a lot, and there's a lot of functions that they kind of missed out on that. But I think it was still fine. But yeah, the one that I just look at and scratch my head about, like, what was Lego thinking when they come to releasing this, is the Palace of Agrabah set. Because when it was rumored, I was like, oh, sick, we're gonna get either like a the Sultan, or like a Prince Ali figure. Like, that would have been really cool. There was so many opportunities that they could have done with this set, and then just to get nothing, I was like, cool, right, okay.
Yeah, because that was at least it was a couple of days ago on Lego.com for sale, like 30% reduced.
Yeah.
It might still be as of the recording.
Yeah,
and even I was looking at that and going, I want this, but I don't. Like, even at 30% off, it's like, it's, the first two in terms of, of course, the Disney Castle, awesome. The second one, the Haunted Mansion, okay, exclusive minifigure. It's something different.
Yep.
And then, Agrabah, it's like, you don't have any figure there. I'm not quite sure. Like so.
I mean, it's got worse, hasn't it? You got the Disney Castle, exclusive Mickey. Then you went to that Haunted Mansion, which was all right. And then you've gone from the Aladdin set with no minifigure. I mean, what's it going to become next year? Are they going to include a mini doll?
Well, you've done
the next
another
one's,
one. Little Mermaids, little mini
yeah.
doll.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. And it comes with a mini doll.
Yeah.
Well, go back. Like,
I know, this is what I think. I think they released the images of the Agrabah one and then realized they fucked up and were like, that's it. We need to fix this for next time. Because there's no other explanation. Because it's like you're saying, there was a minifigure.
But then again, it's still identity crisis. Like, because the people they're targeting don't want mini dolls, right? This isn't a set for kids. It's a display piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's even how they're advertising it, which is
my first ones recently. I don't know.
Because what we're saying about there being 30% off, that's why I have now. It's actually coming tomorrow, the Agrabah one for me, because I wasn't even happy. And I want to collect them all, obviously, but I wasn't even happy paying full price for that. So when I went down to 30%, I've begrudgingly bought it because they have looped me in with if you look at their marketing. They display it with the Disney Castle, the mansion,
Disney
and I'm
Castle. But they've taken.
Yeah.
I think they've taken away the Mickey, so it doesn't look so out of place. Like, come on now, come on.
I'm like, oh, you cheeky buggers.
Are you
But
serious?
it's obviously
What?
a lineup of others to come.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to make sure I have them
I
all.
can't miss
But
that one now. But
I think they're gonna learn from it now.
I hope so. I hope so. I think in payment they should do a polybag next year that has a really cool Aladdin. Even if it's, like I said, even if it's a mini doll, I don't care. I'm going to collect all the mini dolls anyway. I know it's not for everyone, but it is. I just look at it and go, it's an absolute identity crisis. It's all over the place in terms of marketing on that one. But
and that's the thing. You sort of, I'd look at it and go, yes, Disney Castle, collect that. Haunted Mansion, okay, I can get past that. Agrabah, is this my exit point out of this?
Yeah, because I thought they were going with the when they did Haunted Mansion, I was like, oh, this could be fun. They're going to go and do a load of the Disney park sets, which I know is a niche for a lot of casual Disney fans, but there's a huge sub collection of Disney park, Disney adults and stuff, that will go crazy for, especially at that price point as well. Absolute sweet spot, £35, $40 of just a little thing and a minifigure of something from the parks. That would have gone crazy. So then I was like, oh, okay, so we could get a Tree of Life, or we could get all these cool things I was thinking about from the parks, It's a Small World, or stuff like that. And then we get this one, and I'm like, okay, Palace of Agrabah, it's just where's my figure? Where's my figure?
It's like the villains set. It probably would have been all right if the Jafar from the villain set was in.
Yeah.
In the Aladdin set, and then they could have just replaced Jafar with somebody else, or maybe they didn't even need to do that. Maybe they could just cherry pick, take Jafar out and popped him in the other one. Might have been a quick fix.
It just baffles me.
Yeah. So, okay. Moving on, Bonnie. Disappointments or bad?
Yeah, I'll quickly mention a couple because they've already been slightly mentioned. So the Wolverine Claw, I agree, that's not one that I was even tempted to buy full price, because I love Wolverine and X-Men and stuff. I am praying for there to be an X-Men mansion next year
It will be.
because
Yeah.
I'm starting to put money aside for that because I'm ready for it. I'm so ready. So that was kind of disappointing. We've not really been hardcore collecting like the Marvel like weapons and stuff like that, but that's only because they're like on our wish list, but just not really high near the top. We've got some of them, but there's that. What was Chewbacca about? I thought Chewbacca was a joke. Like when I saw the images, I was like, "Is this like a pee take?" But now I'm like, I'll just wait. Like it's already been discounted, but I'm like, if I ever need to like part out a set for like terrain or like I don't know, that's the one to get.
Yeah.
That just looks bizarre. So that's weird because that is a buildable figure I might have actually bought, but no.
I think
it
the
gives me
Marvel
the fear.
theme, going back to the Marvel thing, has been a bit of a weird one this year.
Yeah.
In general,
It's
not been much I can get behind.
I think they're maybe struggling a little bit with their buildable figures. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean I actually quite liked Dobby, for example, but I know Trevor's terrified of it. And then obviously Chewbacca I think is weird, and then don't even get me started on the new rocket. Like I don't know if some of you are like looking forward to that, but I think it looks terrifying. I think that thing will give me nightmares.
Yeah, rabid rocket. Yeah.
I did get the Ant-Man character.
That rocket does give you nightmares. It'll definitely give Brixie nightmares, I tell you.
Yeah.
Brilliant segue.
Sorry, that's it.
But yeah, no, that's a weird. But the two things I will say that I don't know if disappointed is a bit harsh because I'm actually being a little bit controversial here and going against my hardcore like fan base here because they're both Disney sets. But the Disney frame, I have bought it and it's now heavily discounted, but I just feel like that was just a filler sort of set that they just thought we need another Disney 100 set. Let's bring this out like at a reasonable price. Like some of you are even trying to remember what I'm talking about.
Is that the one
I don't know if you mean the Dots one, the actual Dots one, but you mean the one with the Mickey figure, right?
Yeah, because I feel like they should have brought out, you know, remember like the Mickey mini art sort of sets. They're not long retired. I feel like they should have went down more that route, Disney 100, and went something really, really classy, kind of looking like classical, rather than just like a random little art set.
But you mentioned that, Bonnie, because I did like a top 5 worst sets in case we needed it for today's stream, and that Disney set is number 2 on my list. The one with all the dots.
Yeah, I have bought it, and I'm probably going to buy more so I can do all the different ones. But I'm just like, again, I'll be a bit disgruntled about it. I don't know what it is. It's just...
I'm not going to be happy when I do it.
I'm not going to be happy.
It's completely forgettable, isn't it? I've forgotten about it. Now I remember looking at it. I think it was in a sale on the Lego site. I remember looking at it yesterday.
That's what's more disgruntling about it
as well. So.
Yeah, that's what's more disgruntling about it is that I literally just bought it before the sale. I'm like, dang it.
Do they normally have such a good sale on Boxing Day, Lego? Or is it
not this much? They
had
usually
the Alpine
put
Lodge
things
on sale in the Southampton shop.
I was glad to pick up I said I wasn't going to go into Disney Mini Dolls, but I wanted to get the set that has like the Raja and the Milan's horse as well. That went on sale, and I almost missed that, so I did grab that. And I'm contemplating picking up the Disney 100 Treehouse
Princesses. That's a fantastic set.
That looks fantastic, and I'm like, but then I'm going into that rabbit hole of mini dolls, and I don't know if I can be doing that because I've not even got all
the exclusive sales as well. Because in Southampton they had the Alpine Lodge for £73 or something, down from 100 or down from whatever it is. And that's only in the shop.
Yeah, the Alpine Lodge was actually sort of bordering on my slightly disappointed list, actually, which is quite controversial. Yeah, only because it's the only kind of Winter Village set that I've not wanted to run out and get, and I friggin' love Christmas, but like, there just wasn't, I don't know, there wasn't something magical about it to me, but I think that's because obviously they've like done a lot of the ideas that they have, like a gingerbread house, an elf clubhouse, and all this kind of thing. So they can't do everything around elves and Santa and mystical creatures, if you like. So they're obviously thinking, like we did the main street, people visiting this village, they need somewhere to stay. So it made sense why they did it, but I just wasn't feeling it. Like I'll buy it maybe eventually, but yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't super up there. And the very last thing I'll say is one that I'm still uncertain about, and I feel a bit awkward saying it because I don't know. But the new Disney castle, I don't know. I honestly don't know, purely because I think it is a vast improvement to the first. Definitely, I agree with what you were saying, One Brickstad, about like the colors are just amazing. Like they've upscaled it a bit, which I think it needed. There's a more diverse like range of figures as well, and the stickers and everything. I've not built it yet, but I've like examined the box thoroughly, staring at it, willing like the day that I can build it. But I think they purely just redid the castle because they were like, oh crap, right, we've left this on the shelf too long, this other one. We're now coming up for 100 years anniversary. We have to do the signature castle again. I feel like that is principally the reason that they did the castle.
Yeah, I mean,
this year.
I can even extend to what you're saying there, because obviously Disney 100, and I don't think Walt Disney ever visited that castle.
Nope.
So
it's not a signature like castle in that sense either. So, but in saying that, I try to be optimistic, and I'm like, you know what? They're only scratching the surface with Disney. They've done hardly anything that they could be doing yet.
Yeah.
So I'm willing the day that they're going to do a like Beauty and the Beast castle,
Yeah.
Agrabah castle, like something like that is really going to blow everyone's minds, because it has to happen. But at the same time, what Tech's saying could also happen, where they just kind of basically do all the castles of the different parks, which I would prefer the other idea, but I can see why they might go down that route. But it'll be interesting to see maybe what direction they go in, because it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
But, I'll be working on I'd love to do I'm going to work on mocks of the alternative castles and stuff, because if they're going to have another long shelf life for this one, I can't wait that long. So, yeah.
Yeah, they'll. I'm just trying to think the Beauty and the Beast castle. If they did that at an expensive price point, and then do it with mini dolls or something like.
Yeah, well, it's baroque. It has to be I think mini dolls would make it look too cutesy. It's not a cutesy piece of. It's not a cutesy building.
It's probably a Gothic castle. That one,
yeah.
isn't it? Notably, they are the two. Well, that is one of the Belle is one of the few Disney princesses that we haven't now got in minifigure form. I think there's 3 that we haven't got now. I was shocked, especially when they just reintroduced or just put the same Tiana figure from the CMF in the castle. I was like, please give us Belle and Beast. But I would imagine they've held them back for good reason. It looks like we're getting. It looks like Disney, Lego are going to be doing more Disney minifigure sets next year, which is exciting.
I think Tech knows something.
Oh wait.
Or maybe the Peter Pan and Wednesday or whatever, the little diorama. If you could do more, they do more of those.
Yeah, I think that's possibly the route they're going to go down. It's smaller Disney sets but with figures still, which I am more than here for. But yeah, that Mickey art one, yeah, that's a good point actually, Maxine. I hadn't thought of that one.
Cool. One Brick Stud, some disappointments or lowlights other than Technic sets.
Yeah, I basically did this last week, with that Technic set. But in all honesty, me being a Lego Harry Potter fanatic, there's still the odd set that I think it through, and it still doesn't make it onto my shelf. And Dobby was one. I think Dobby was terribly made. I think it was terrible. I'm with Brick Hive. I don't think brick built figures works if it's for I think he words it along the lines of organic, sort of like human. It doesn't work. It worked for droids and so on, but not like humans. It's like they're Harry and Hermione massive figures. I just don't think it works. But for a set that I bought, and I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, because I'm never really disappointed. It's a strong word. That I'm never disappointed in a set that I've purchased, but a set which felt a little bit underwhelming and also repetitive was the house banners. There was 4 of them, all repetitive, and the concept was exactly the same as the Hogwarts Moments books that came out last year and the year before. This fold out little room you can make, like we had the dormitories with the banners, and we had classrooms with the Hogwarts Moments books. So the concept was just the same thing, but they just made it, instead of a book, into a banner. So that was just a little bit, repetitive and experience all this. And they could have done so much more, which I think they've learned from going into the next year, because they're not doing anything repetitive. They've got a list of different types of sets for March the 1st. So the only positive thing about those banners was getting new characters for the first time. Angelina Johnson, Michael Corner, and there were new characters, exclusive figures, which was good. And you had the 3D cards as well that you slot into the back of the banners. That was interesting. That was good. That's a good substitution for stickers. Not just the banners, but also I think the worst set happens to be the Quidditch trunk as well. I think Quidditch trunk is £53 is a joke. It's £63. It's terrible, and it's just exactly the same as the magical trunk set, which I got last year, and it was good. I got it on discount. It was like £30. I got it for. It was like 50% off.
Yeah.
And you're left with a lot of spare pieces, because there's a load of heads, there's loads of bricks that you don't really use, and then you just obviously put them to one side. So for somebody who doesn't mock and part out sets, you put in just like so many pieces away, and I'd rather be displaying those pieces.
Mhm.
It wasn't a good experience. So I'd say the banners and the magical trunk, the Quidditch trunk set was probably the sets that made me feel a little bit underwhelmed. Not disappointed, because I'm a big fan of this of the theme and so on, and it kind of helps a little bit if you've got some exclusive figs involved, but you don't just look at the figs, do you? You look at the entire set. So not disappointed, but definitely underwhelmed with those sets.
Yeah, they weren't when I looked at them, and even on sale, I couldn't get behind them as like, I am a fan of Harry Potter. I don't buy much Harry Potter Lego at all, but yeah, that one seemed very much like almost just a money grab.
Yeah,
from like to get the existing fans just more money out of them.
Well, what I'm kind of hoping is from because we all know Lego like to reuse bricks. I'm kind of hoping that the Quidditch trunk and the banners are a hint as to what's going to be the next big set, which is going to be a Quidditch stadium.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I do think it's on its way. We haven't had one for so many years, so yeah.
Cool.
Well, it wouldn't be a stream if something didn't go askew. So it's like my device just decided, no, we don't like you anymore. So it's back, which is really good timing for all that. It sounds like you've managed to carry on without me anyhow. Just super quick. Good to hear all the different sets that people sort of, had issues with, or something not quite there. I think it's good that we just don't sit here and be fanboys and girls just clapping at everything. The ones for me which I thought were kind of disappointing was the Endor diorama. It seemed to me to be, how can we really thin this out? The base didn't feel solid. It's sort of like, it seemed to be really pushing it. The trees, okay, I get trees are difficult to build, but they weren't great. And the other one was the X-Wing. Now, the UCS X-Wing, a couple of things with that, the usual sort of thing, which I complain about. You had the canopy piece in there getting scratched. Like, come on, guys. So there's that. But also, too, the build of it, the way that the wings are together. First of all, you've got a rubber band holding it together. So that's going to, over time, that's going to wear out and break. And the wings don't actually clip into place. Like, they're kind of flimsy. So it's sort of like, for something of this size and scale, it just, so that was kind of my little ones for that.
It does seem weird that they've reverted. I guess I want to. Well, I'll say what I was going to say. You get it. It's weird that they've reverted back to elastic bands for that for that feature, because on the playset one they've moved away from that. I think the last episode 9 X-Wing and the 2021 X-Wing, they both had a function where the wings folded out without an elastic band. I thought because of that criticism, but clearly not. It just seems weird that for this UCS X-Wing they've now gone back and then put the rubber bands in there.
Yeah, because there's been a few mocks and things which I did like a couple of years ago with rubber bands, and I just left them in there, like stressed, and come back a couple of years later they're snapped, and it's just like anyhow, so let's just sort of see. I think Greg sort of said may not be a popular choice. One of my favorite sets for these was the upscale basic minifig. So the one with the builder and the hat, that was cool.
I was going to give a shout to the pirate upscaled fig as well. The
Lego
house.
I can't wait to get my hands on that.
The fact that it's exclusive doesn't make any difference.
It's a cool, right?
It's just so cool. Like, I want one of him. I want Johnny Thunder. Like, just give me some of those like OG characters in that. Oh, it's so freaking cool, man. I love that one.
Yeah, X-Wing was okay, but wings have to be otherwise. Yep. I got a couple of replaced canopies because I built up all the different ones. Which Lego needs to take a bigger skew on building trees. He's really branching out with these designs. Wouldn't be a stream without that. UCS Chewbacca was my favorite tree build with those legs. Does that count? I think when that first came out, we sort of said that. People were looking and going, "Yes, that's a great tree build."
And a pass draft for that one, I think.
And Bill to grab the pirate and Spaceman. Yeah, that'd be cool if they did that.
Cool. Someone's done that. I think Omega's done that. Omega Man's done a classic Spaceman, like upscaled.
Okay.
Big.
Yeah, there's that sort of system or design or whatever. There's a lot of them now popping up on Rebrickable and other places. So it's cool to see. I've got the third and last sort of video recapping on bits and pieces. We'll give that a bit of a play.
I built him.
Cool.
I wonder if they are if they have a certain training course. If I had sat on the line and you would have called me and told me the box has a dent, and I would have told you, okay, then let's swap it, and you would have told me I don't want to swap it, then I would have told you, why are you calling? You don't want to. You want to keep the box?
Hi, Rouse, Cabbage fan. just maybe the edge there. A sentence I never thought I'd say.
£220 threshold, House of the World 3.
Yeah.
£95 Disney pounds threshold.
Yeah.
Light brick. Minifigs.
Exclusive minifigure.
That's the glue sniffing minifigure, did you say?
No,
that can't be right.
Minifigure. Yeah. Exclusive.
Someone is under the impression that retired means like meat in a supermarket. The expiration date is off, and now you can't tell them.
Yeah, the Lego bricks aren't safe anymore. Yeah.
I was scared of the weird things, like I couldn't watch any Dr. Zeus because there's just no straight lines, and it used to just freak me out.
I'm making progress. He looks a bit like naked, and it feels a bit as if I have to shelter his private parts.
So yeah, that's what I'm going to build this evening. I shall race through it.
Start seeing take notes in a minute. Oh yeah, I can use that one
down. Yeah, that's what I built on my stream this week, so that was good fun. And some pieces have just fallen off. Fantastic.
I did not. I just sorted out a few bits and bobs, and I just lost a minifigure. So Look at that. There's biscuits on my train track. Biscuits on my train track. How bad is that?
Why?
It's like you needed to be on stream to notice that.
Wow.
Greg would have had a field day if he had seen that.
And speaking of big, I have to show you something which totally surprised me. And it's big.
Nice.
Look at my head. You can't see my head. But
Partner's a bat ecologist, so he was like, I need to have all the bat stuff.
Yeah.
That's why your camera was upside down.
Yes.
There we go. It's some great stuff there, and Nicole, as always, coming in with the goods.
She's so good, man. She's so good.
Yeah, it's just having to be really classic timing there. So like, great to see it now. And cool. So that's it's just a good little recap of some of the things that always having fun on the stream, and I appreciate all you guys being here and being part of it. And it's good to be. I'll look back. I know we are starting to push up against the 3-hour mark. So was there anybody else who wanted to throw out any other like really good sets that they sort of appreciated this year, built, or anything like that?
I'd like to throw out a best, probably one of the best GWPs was the Steamboat Willie this year. I think that was good. Yeah. So really like that. So.
Yeah, I think Disney in general this year, other than that like Dots art set, I think has pretty much smashed every set. The Disney 100 especially, I think has just been fantastic for Lego Disney. I was very much interested with the like Mickey and Friends sets. I know that that's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to get a fireman Mickey and Minnie, and then like a doctor Mickey and Minnie, or an astronaut, like whatever. I'll buy it, but to actually branch out into some different films, different characters, the CMF I think was a real highlight. So yeah, Disney I think have had a very, very strong year in terms of Lego, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can even the other one, the one with the light brick as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's probably, I don't know if that just said it, because that minifigure is still exclusive to that GWP.
Yeah.
Which is
which
is something you don't really get exclusive, like new torsos made for a GWP.
Yeah, this is really, really good. That
and
one.
the first GWP ever to have a light brick in it as well.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Lego pop quiz, that one.
Yeah.
Remember that one. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
And there was the little Diddy castle as well. If you were in the store on the right days.
Yes, I've got that somewhere.
With that special printed base or whatever it was.
I'll give a quick shout to the Indiana Jones theme in general. Short-lived.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Golden Temple Run. I forget
Temple
what's
of
actually
the Golden Idol.
There you go. That's the one. Yeah.
Temple Run's the
game, isn't it?
It could fit. Like it's just a couple of figure swaps. I've bought the I think it's the Lost Tomb set. I've done so many parts drafts for that this year. It's such a good set for pieces. I'm not a particularly big Indiana Jones fan, but that theme on a whole is pretty good. But that set in particular is great value. That's gone down to like £25 at times. Like fantastic value. There's one very obvious set that I'd shout out that hasn't been mentioned at all. Is the Orient Express.
Yeah,
like boats, I'm a massive Lego trains fan. Again, not really into trains outside of Lego. I just like seeing Lego's iteration of them. So I think that will be like an AFOL day purchase early in the first half of next year. And then a proper rogue one is And I don't know why I have such a fascination and obsession with this set, and I will pick it up. I am waiting for it to drop in price a little bit though on Amazon or something. But it's the Marvel 4 Plus Team Spidey's mobile headquarters. I don't know why I like it so much. It looks like a
That's
turbo
so
tank
good.
from Star Wars, and I'm just fascinated by it. I think it's really cool and really fun.
I think they're a bit of a sleeper hit, those sets.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They've
figures
got
are-
really good figs in them. I know
Yeah.
they've got like the shorter legs, but the
Yeah.
torsos are awesome. And they tend to be on sale.
Yeah, you can get them often on sale on Amazon and stuff. So I do need to get that set. That's my rogue left of field one, I think.
There's some of them new 4 Plus Spidey sets, Spidey and Friends sets. They've got like the half venomized bad guys and stuff on them as well.
Yeah.
So they're kind of cool looking. Yeah.
I understand that everything getting venomized, but I want it all nonetheless.
I had to sell the same thing twice. Yeah. No, some of those Spidey ones, as you said, great little figs, and you can generally get them on sale at some point on Amazon. So yeah, picked up a few of those over the years. Indiana Jones. That was, as we said, there been some great sets in there between the three of them. I think that's probably the end of Indiana Jones. The first film didn't really do too well, and I think that's a bit of a shame.
Which I have to say, so I had I could have had an argument with a brother-in-law on Christmas Day who said that the new Indiana Jones film was the worst film he's ever seen. I was like, well, I'm now going to be like, so does that mean that you think Indiana Jones or the latest Power Rangers film is better than Indiana Jones? And just think of all these terrible films. Anyway, but it's not that bad. Like I don't know, maybe it's a hot take. I like the Indiana Jones film. Watched it yesterday.
I haven't seen it.
No, I've not seen
It's
it.
good. Don't listen to haters.
I've not even seen all of the originals.
Yeah.
Like for years, I actually thought Indiana Jones was a woman because I thought it sounded like a woman's name. Indiana doesn't sound like a guy's name.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah. But what about no one's mentioned the Avengers Tower?
Yeah,
that is definitely one to be mentioned purely because obviously that was a remake, but it was a much needed remake because the one they did before was so small and didn't do it justice. So I've not picked that one up yet, but we will be picking that up eventually. We almost picked it up for half the price.
Ooh.
In the Lego store because we went in and to get I want to get the modular museum. And obviously we did the usual thing where we like take it off the shelf and they say, "Oh, do you want just like a boxed up one?" And we were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." And then we went to the till and well, actually Aaron went and they'd put it behind, but the guy had brought out the wrong one. He'd actually brought out the Avengers Tower and not realised. And so but it was a different woman that was serving us, and she was about to just like give it to us and like put it through and charge us for the museum. But he happened to then come through and go, "Oh, no, that's actually the wrong one. I know that you asked for the museum." We very nearly got it. It would have been very bittersweet because it's a set we want anyway. But like, if we'd got home and realised we got it like for half the price, I would have been like, "Well, oh well, that happened."
Yeah. Oh shucks, what will I do?
It's not be our fault. Yeah. So, because I had to take Nova outside because she was getting fussy at this point, and I could just see Aaron like grinning and stuff from afar, and I'm like, "What the hell is it? Like, what's going on?" And then he came out and told me, but then he looked deflated by that point. He was like, "We almost got the Avengers Tower."
Did he give the game away? So he knew what was going on, did he? Oh, okay.
No, he genuinely didn't.
Right.
Because the box was behind the counter, and but he was like standing there when they saw the whole thing, like the whole conversation happen, and then he was like, "Oh," like, and then everyone realized what almost happened. So close.
Because when you first said that, it's like everyone picked up. It's like, really? There's a way that we can get it? Maybe it's not.
Someone has to make a mistake. No. If that person had just stayed in that stock room for another 5 minutes, we would have.
And Trevor, wishing everyone a very happy and prosperous New Year. I hope you're going well, Trevor. I don't know if you're heading out, but hope things are good with you. And I think Brickabic's best figure of the year, Hocus Pocus Witches. I know we sort of mentioned. Does anyone have any really good minifigures that they particularly liked?
Yeah, I've got my three. I've got third place, Bellatrix from Gringotts.
Okay.
Highly anticipated. You know, Holly on film and Topic Bricks, they're whining about why Bellatrix hasn't got a printed skirt. Paid off, so well done, guys. Lego obviously heard, included it in Gringotts. No, and I agree with them, you know, because it was needed. And second was probably Boba Fett, that the minifigure that came in the mech. He's just saturated in printing. It really is great. And we've had 2 great Boba Fetts in recent years. We had the other one that was in the Mandalorian set. So Lego have done really well with Boba Fett. And probably my number one, because it was also a minifigure that my wife really dreamed of. That is Mickey Mouse. So this minifigure means a lot to me because it means a lot to my wife as well. She was like so over the moon when she found out that this figure was actually designed. Because you get the hat in the previous castle, but you can't pull it on Mickey's head. And it's one of her favorite variations of Mickey. So she was delighted when she got that. So that's probably my number one because, you know, my wife really, really loves this minifigure. And so that's my number one.
Brilliant. Excellent. Anybody else got some top minifigs?
I would say that Moon Knight in the set that we got with the CMF, that was
CMF range.
because he was printed all over, you know, unique hood, brand new pieces for him. So he's a number one for me. And also I don't remember his full name, but I think it's Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah,
I think.
that's in my top 3.
Yeah. So he was that silver printing and all over him was just pristine, and then the molding on the hat as well was just really, really good. So that fig was gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Ahsoka for me as well, just because.
Yeah.
The Ahsoka they did in the series this year was really, really good. They figured out her crown.
I was so worried that they were just going to give her the same headpiece for like that they'd done with the Clone Wars, and I'd have been so let down. But the Ahsoka was number 5 for me. Number 4 was that Orca because I just love that Orca. I think it's so cute. Third was Bo-Katan, the live action iteration of Bo-Katan. I think looks fantastic. The arm print and the more detailed print on the helmet, I think looked fantastic. Sorcerer Mickey was number 2 for me. Back on my Tech Productions channel, I did a CMF of like a Series 3 CMF out of Purist Customs, and I had to blue tack on the sorcerer, the old hat to the Mickey head just to get that to stick because I wanted that figure so bad. So that, and then the only one, and it's objectively not the best figure, but it's the one that I was most excited to get, and that was Stitch, obviously, because I'm such a big Stitch fan. So yeah, that would be my top 5 for minifigures, I think. But I mean, there was I think Hera from the Ahsoka show sets, all of the Disney 100 CMFs I think were good. I really like the updated Stormtrooper, actually, just changing the belt to white and the updated printing on the torso I think looks really good too. And then there's one from Monkey Kid, which is the yellow tusked elephant. If you get a chance, have a look at that figure.
He looks so cool. I was so tempted to buy that set just to
crazy.
Get that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's Stitch and Sorcerer Mickey are just levels.
I was going to say, if people were not saying Disney CMFs in these top 5s, I would have purged you all. So, no marks so far. No pressure, Ollie. But yeah.
No, even for me, that Mickey, the Wizard Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey, that one, like, because that's from my childhood. That's Fantasia, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's one of the few that I got from that series.
Yeah.
Oh, did you not get them all? I managed to get them all. I've still got some spares.
No, I didn't. I wasn't too fast to get them all, but yeah.
They're so good. Oh my god, I'm so glad that they came out pre-box because I would have spent probably so much stupid money making sure I got them all. But
That's what I was
I had
talking about.
fun. I had fun feeling the bags for those ones. Like I had
Oh,
absolutely no shame being in Smiths. Like getting
That's
them all
what
and
I'm
getting some
talking about in the
dupes.
clip at the beginning of the stream. And I'm saying about it in Leicester Square, there was like 3 members of staff stood around for like 2 hours feeling bags for people, and there's a constant queue of people like asking for certain ones. Yeah, because even I was there for like a good 20 minutes. Like to
The Edinburgh store did that for people, which was amazing. And I got there late that day as well, so I was like in panic mode, and I'm like, I had to try and remind myself this is just flipping toys, like it's not like. I was like I think actually that was the thing I was most excited to pick up this year was the CMFs. There was just because there was like I can't remember how many there were now, 12 or something. But
18.
like to get
18,
to get every single one was just so, oh my god, opening those bags was just the best feeling ever. So that's why I've got like if I could say them all, I would like for my top 5. But yeah, Ernesto de la Cruz was definitely a shout out. I also thought just to vary it a little bit and not mention something Disney, I really like, I've not got one yet, Beast from the Marvel CMF series. I thought that looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
Because I really love X-Men and stuff like that. So, and also I really like the Evil Queen, like the hag one from the villain set.
Yeah.
Her face is just pure golden. Like it's so good. I actually think they seem to get the Disney villains really good, like in minifigs. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully more coming out soon, like more Disney CMFs. But yeah, and then Stitch and Pinocchio with the molded nose.
Yeah, the little.
That was.
I am so curious if we ever see that head mold again.
Yeah.
That would be
not sure.
crazy weird to see after all these years of like not having noses on minifigures. But yeah.
I've got to shout out the Orc and Faulkner CMF figures as well. I bought a whole bunch of them throughout the quarter or however long they were out for.
Yeah, I think the less so the figure, but again the animal mold from series 24, the koala. I really liked the koala. That was quite cute, and the dinosaur costume from that series was fun. That's the one.
Oh god! Oh, you've changed your hair up.
No, this is more for when the hair's short. So, but yeah, it's a couple of variations. But yeah, no, seeing that koala come out, that's kind of like the variation on that. But those.
Yeah, they're bringing out more animals now, aren't they? Like, did they not also bring out the otter this year? Was that not one? Everyone was trying to grab at them. Oh, and I haven't mentioned Dumbo and Bambi that came in the camera set.
Yeah, that's a good. I should have actually said Matt Sig Fig because the amount of fun I'm having. Yeah.
You got the head too, so
way too bright, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Got mine here as well.
Oh, there he is. So cool.
Back. You were in my winter village, but I took you out because the winter village went away. So.
Well, that's good. Being saved from the cold. Appreciate that. No,
you're going into the museum though because I don't have anywhere else to put you, so I don't lose you.
I wonder where you were going with that, Maxine. I was like, this could be really rude here, you know.
You're just going to
I'm not joking. I'm like, I don't want to lose it, so I'm like, I feel like someone told me that there was like a painting, maybe in this, or I read somewhere that there's like a reference to like another set. So I'll make it that Matt's painting the painting.
Yeah, I've got you painting a Van Gogh in my winter village at the moment.
The one there. Yeah, no, it's cool. And I liked it when the week before Chris was going through and putting in like the horntail or all these other sorts of different places.
Yeah. I was actually going to basically dismantle your minifigure and have it placed in front of Fluffy. Or I was going to have I don't know, Voldemort. It's one of those string pieces, you know, what attaches the Home Alone house, the tree house. Wrap that around you and have you right in front of the Hogwarts Express collector's edition.
Savage.
Yeah.
Gold. Love that. So, yeah, the similar sorts of things. The figure for me, the Sonic Dr. Robotnik, that was a really cool one. As you mentioned, the Ahsoka ones, being just able to get them, having missed out on sort of like the Rebels, that's been great. And the other ones, just as a bit of a shout out, the work that they've done on the Dreams ones, like they've really done some nice stuff on that. So be good to, make sure that those sort of keep on going along as well. I think, what have I got here? Is anyone, I do want to sort of wrap this up. I know that we are sort of going on long here. Does anyone urgently need to get out of here? Are we still good for a few more minutes?
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Mate.
Yeah, well, I just not too sure. And I think the poll that we sort of had, what sort of year has it been for Lego for you? Still haven't finished the poll off yet. But I think just that sort of question, maybe just getting a bit of a sense or a summary out of everyone, just even if it's just a bit of a sense of what the year has been like. For me, I think on the whole, it's been really strong. In terms of, you've had the Dreams theme, which is launched. The Disney 100's been fantastic. We've had some great CMF series. There's been some, large sets which generally been hitting the mark, whether it's Gringotts, Avengers Tower. In the past, like when you've had those big ones like the Hulkbuster or Black Panther, they've kind of been hit and miss. Some of the Jurassic Park stuff too has been really good. So, and the prices, we can always complain about them. On the whole, they haven't been too ridiculous. Yes, we can get them on sale and things like that. So I think, it's been a pretty solid year. And just sort of, anybody else want to sort of put their thoughts in just in the year?
I think I voted for pretty good. Enjoyed what I got. Looking back, I think it's probably a bit harsh. I think it is actually, like, thinking back of like all the amazing sets, like I said, all the Disney sets, the Star Wars sets that I've bought, I've been really happy with. I think the enjoyed what I got was what I clicked on, because I think this year I have not just been going out buying every single thing that I think I'm gonna like. I've tried to tailor my spending a little bit, at least just not trying to pick up everything that I see for 20% off. Going, yes, so yeah, but no, actually looking back, I think it's been a really, really strong year for Lego. And there's I'm definitely hardly scratched the surface on sets that I need to pick up from this year. So I could do with a big dud year from Lego next year. So I think
there has been a bit of a thing. I think, well, at least for me, and it seems to be more common than last year, at least, that I've been more savvy with what I'm buying. Like, there's always sales, like, or loads of stuff will end up on a sale, and just been a bit more picky, because admittedly last year it was the first year I was back into Lego proper and had a whole bunch of disposable income, so I really didn't care. I was like, oh, there's a GWP that I'm not actually that fussed about, but let's just get that anyway. So now I've got to go spend 200 quid in Lego to get that. But yeah, it has been a really strong year for Lego in general. Like, there's been some tough choices to not get stuff. Yeah, it has been really strong. And I think, like I said, about we can moan about prices, and I have moaned about the prices of the bigger sets, but they are incredible sets. Like, I'm so happy that I've got one, and that will see me through for quite a while, I think.
Yes. Well, I'm so happy I've got about 10.
Yeah, you have your UPS collection going, mate.
No, obviously, yeah, my kind of first year going headstrong into Lego, so I did do a bit of that throwing money at it thing this year. So, yeah, but I actually think, it was a good year for me. you know, it's my 40th, so I also got some big sets for my birthday as well. So I was quite happy with that. And obviously, I got the Lord of the Rings set came out this year, which I'm really happy I got as well. So yeah, for me, it's been good. And like you're saying, like next year, I'm probably going to cater it a bit more. I know this year I wanted, with all the Star Wars sets that were out, I wanted to get one of every ship that was available at the time. So I just wanted to make sure I get one of each everything. And then next year, obviously, if they bring out another TIE fighter or something else, I'm not going to really bother with it. You know, I'm happy with just having the one of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be catering it a bit more next year. But no, for me, I've definitely got a bit of a backlog to get through. So yeah, enough to stream for the next 6 months at least. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with what I've got.
Brilliant, excellent. Has everyone had a go? Who wants to say something about the year?
No, yeah, it's been a stronger year. I think every year is strong because Lego makes so many sets. You're not going to buy every single one, and they're bound to make some sets that's just going to, you know, attract you. But this year definitely been strong. Not just buying like sets that have been released this year, but also last year as well. So it's not just 2023, it's 2022. It's actually made this year even stronger. You know, like getting the Home Alone set, which is one of my favorite films, favorite Christmas film, you know, in the Cantina and not just even the super pricey sets, but also like so many little nuggets for decent prices, like the Emperor's Throne Room diorama. Love that set. And the Up House, which is another good set. So all in all, very, very good year. But and also couldn't stress the importance of being savvy with your money. I mean, the Cantina, obviously it was a Christmas present, but I made sure my wife got it when it was at discount because she was prepared to buy me for Christmas. Get it when John Lewis has got it discounted. At the Disney Castle I bought my wife, that was discounted at Disney Store. Home Alone was discounted at Zavvi. So when you look at it, and I am being how I'm biologically constructed, I have spreadsheets, I have things that, I document to ensure that I'm buying things at a discount. And it's quite satisfying when you bought those sets and you put the original retail price and then the price you bought it for, the amount of money you save. It's very satisfying because you save so much. And, and it's not just a hobby, is it, Lego? It's a lifestyle for us. So it's sort of like, be tight, wait for your discounts, and, and you'll be able to fund what you want to get and make it an even stronger year, because if you're able to buy sets on discounts, you might be able to buy just an extra set, or if it floats your boat and you save enough money, you can go and buy that leaf blower, if you really want it. So
I'll just say the same, because this has been the first year that I've really went at Lego, because I only started last year. But I was much the same as what Madlib's saying. Like, I was throwing quite a bit of money at it to begin with, but as the year's gone on, and obviously I had the fortunate that it was Disney 100, so that grabbed most of my attention anyway. But it's helped me work out what my kind of collective niche would be, being more selective with what I am buying. And as I said, I'm a Marvel and I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't feel the urge and requirement to go and buy out every single set as maybe some fans do. So I'm forcing myself to be a bit more picky. I'm more like OG Star Wars, not all maybe the side hustles, partially because I've not watched the series. I might start watching them soon when I have some time on my hands. But so I think that's definitely helped in that respect. And I think it's been a fantastic year for me personally, as a Disney fan, to be into Lego. It has cost a little bit, but that's obviously going to change going into next year, because something tells me I'm going to be have less funds next year. But I'm looking forward to it, because it's also meaning what we're saying is that you're not feeling I feel like I need a dud year as well, like what Tech is saying, because I want to start getting into mock building more once the Lego room is done. And this will kind of force my hand a little bit to kind of put that money aside for parts, as opposed to sets that I like, but I'm just kind of buying because of I'm really bad for picking up on the hype when I go to the Lego store. Like especially
Mhm.
like I think Star Wars Day was the worst. Like I was like, I'm feeling the hype, but like if I wasn't here, then I would have been fine, you know. Like so that it rubs off on me like too easily. So I think I
do have
need to stick with that a bit better.
Getting into mocking definitely helps with not getting caught up in the hype of sets.
Mhm.
Like I've bought so many less sets, or I'm much more picky because it's like I'd rather just spend the money on some parts. You might not spend less overall, maybe you do. Probably
Yeah.
more overall if you do it wrong, like I have done.
Yeah, the Pat boxes are the next new thing to just grab my attention all the time. I think I've been now twice to get them, and I'm like, just love having the box.
Yeah,
it is easier. Yeah, I mean, it's still boring stacking pad. Like
Yeah.
I never. Yeah, I was there today and I did one, and yeah, I need to figure out the timing when I go shopping because my wife just gets so bored, and she's not even packing. Like, yeah. But yeah, you do become more picky about sets when doing mocks.
Yeah. No, I think you certainly go through phases. When you first get in, you've got all the challenges.
Sure.
What's sort of being released, what's on the shelf, and what are things you've just missed out on. Certainly when I first got in, it's sort of like, okay, just missed out on the Ghostbusters Firehouse, just missed out on a few of these other ones which you then may acquire and things. But yeah, I think, and as what we're sort of hearing with a lot of it, you're having to be a lot more selective in what you're getting. And certainly I always feel like I'm sort of living on the retirement list. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to get that because now I'm finding on a decent discount. And yeah, sort of looking at some things and going, well, yeah, the Agrabah is still 30% off, but really, no, I'm not really feeling this. So it's being a bit more discerning with that.
I mean, you can make two different types of savings. So when you look at the way I look at it, when you look at a set and you think, right, it's discounted. If I buy this, I save, let's say, £30. But if you are picky and you process that and you don't buy it, you've saved the money you would have spent anyway, and you could use that money on another set that you do want to get. So if there is a set that's worth £40 and it's been reduced from 70 to 40, yeah, if I buy it, I'm saving 30. But if I don't buy it, I'm saving 40.
Yeah, it's sort of in my head. I've got a bit of a list of the themes and things which I do want to get and pick up and things like that. So, and as I sort of said earlier, it's sort of like that's why I hadn't seen that boat or whatever, because it's sort of like, look, I'm just not really particularly interested in the city as such, just because you can't, like, between Star Wars and some Technic and a bit of some of the other bits and pieces, some of the Disney stuff and that, it's like there's only so much money to be getting.
I think as well, when you've got kind of the other things going on, that, because I always feel the pressure if I go to a Lego shop, it's like I want to come away with something. But it makes it so much easier to not buy Lego at every given opportunity, because you're like, well, actually, there's Lug Bulk coming up, or there's some big set coming out, so I can just save that 40 quid I was going to spend here, I was willing to spend today, and just put that aside to go for something in the future I'm definitely going to get anyway.
Yeah. I think as the more time goes on, you start running into space constraints. It's like, where am I physically going to put it?
I bought a bloody house to get that. And I'm still meeting it now straight away.
Still haven't quite gotten the Nicole sort of thing. It's like, buy it and then space will appear. Just rounding off the survey that we had there, or the poll. What sort of Lego year has been for you? We had 48%, almost half the people said brilliant, so many great sets. 43%, pretty good, enjoyed what I got. 9% average, not too good. And nobody was poor, I saved so much money. So we've had all that there. I'm just trying to think, is there any other quick little things people want to say just before we do the spin around of social media and what everyone's up to?
I don't think so.
Can I say that Lego actually have been upping their tree game this year. I would say, despite the A-frame cabin, it's been a good year for trees. Well, actually, I think the A-frame cabin was fine, but yeah.
I don't know. We still got that Yavin 4 tree. I'm not going to
I haven't
forget that
seen
one in a
one.
hurry.
Actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's still some, yeah.
There's still a bit of wiggle room for
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, with that then, quickly go through Madlib. What have you sort of got coming up on your socials?
So I will be streaming daily the UCS Razor Crest. Be coming on about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm hoping to do the next 3 days, and then hopefully that should finish me up just before for New Year's Eve. So tune in daily, and I'll be on streaming. Yeah.
Brilliant, excellent. Yeah, definitely check out Madlib and his what he's been streaming on his dailies. And Ollie, what have you sort of got coming up?
I don't know. I might make my first reel. Actually. I'm kind of planning my first reel. I don't know what it's going to be. I was going to troll the internet with a Rivendell unboxing and try and just make it awful. But I haven't done that because, yeah, I haven't recorded that. But I might make a reel. I might not. And there is this live stream I've been talking about for ages. I need to still put my finger out, but it's getting closer. Gaz and I have committed to doing something soon.
Excellent. Well, we've certainly got the New Year's rocking around soon, so we can all make New Year's resolutions that we probably won't keep.
New year, new me.
So, speaking of moving along to tech, what's sort of coming up with all your stuff?
I will be getting back to streaming on is Tuesday the 1st?
Second
Monday's the first. Second. Yes, Tuesday should be the 2nd. So I should be streaming next Tuesday evening. I got the what did I get for Christmas? I got the Princess Leia, the Boosh helmet. So I'll be building that. When I have my memberships up and running again, I need to do some extra verification on Google AdSense or something. I got a notification the other day, so my memberships are paused and stuff at the moment. But once they're back up, I will be doing another. I'll be doing another pod racer build stream. I've been doing some stuff on there, and then in the next couple of weeks, maybe at some point in January, I'm hoping to have the first build series episode of the pod racer out publicly. So be a few weeks till videos, I imagine. But that's kind of the rough time frame for me at the moment. But yeah, Tuesday evening, between 8 and 9, I usually kick off somewhere. I'll be streaming, so come check me out on Planet Tech.
Brilliant, excellent. No, we certainly look forward to pod racer videos that you do on the mock that you're doing. Exciting stuff, definitely there to be seeing. So Bonnie, what have you sort of got coming up in the new year?
In the new year, okay. Well, before the new year, I'm hoping to have some videos out, but we'll see what happens based around illness and baby and stuff like that. But I've got some reviews and stuff to get out. But in the new year, I'm super excited because I'll basically be doing a whole channel rebrand in a lot of ways. We're already planning for it now. Aaron's just fleetingly, impulsively bought me a brand new camera to be doing vlogging when I'm going out and about, just because he's really, really for me to get going with the channel, because I'm so close to 1,000 subs in less than a year. So we know that we've got the momentum in the audience there. So I've got loads of high hopes for the channel going into the year. So yeah, into the new year, going to be enabling memberships, going to have a brand new Lego room, which we will document the building of. I'll include the bloopers because there probably will be some. And yeah, I am just obviously hoping to get all this up and running before, some of you already know, but I'll just come out and say it now because I've been meaning to announce it for a while. Tech, I don't let you know that I am expecting baby number 2 next year. So that will be arriving. I say that because we don't know what it is in March. So yeah, it will be a busy year for us. But in saying that, pregnancy was actually what got me into Lego in the first place, believe it or not, because I wasn't able to do a lot of the physical hobbies that I used to enjoy before. So I don't imagine this is going to exactly hinder content creation. If anything, it'll probably
Yeah.
help. So yeah, so that is what my 2024 is looking like. It's looking very promising, very excited for what's to come. So yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, it's even just this little sort of year that we've been streaming, not quite a year, seeing everyone sort of move through and navigate life and things like that, and you've got a second one on the way as well, which is fantastic news. And as I was sort of saying earlier with TJ, having seen even in the 4 years what he's sort of gone through, it's been brilliant to sort of see everyone getting on with their life and what they're doing, and sort of all cheering and supporting each other along the way. So that's
absolutely. Yeah, we've all got life going on, we've all got stuff going on in the background, so it's just remembering that this is for the vast majority of us, which I think is easy to forget sometimes when you're watching these kind of LAN people and influencers, this is like a hobby. This is something that we do because we enjoy it, and we shouldn't put pressure on ourselves if we do it as content creation as apart from just being a hobby. So that's something that I've really had to come to terms with later in the year, and I'm definitely going to be trying to keep that in my mindset going into the new year as well. And it's just a reminder for everyone else out there that if they're trying to start up a channel or do any content or anything like that, just to take pressure off themselves and not feel guilty for having pauses, for having breaks, because we all do it and we all need it. So, and it's a great community, so we're all here for it. So
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's brilliant. Yeah, it's as what you say. If it's not your primary income, life is going to get in the way, and it's one thing.
And let it as well. Let it, because sometimes I'm like, stop crying, but I'm like, I love this part of my life. That's exciting. Don't let it pass you by.
Yeah, exactly. One brick stud, what have you sort of got coming up on your sort of socials and things?
Okay, so obviously next week, back on Family Bricks, and also back to hosting over at Fab Blondie's channel. It won't be this Sunday, it'll be next week that we're all back with Fab Blondie and also Nicole. Across both streams, Family Bricks and Fab Blondies, I'll be building this. I'm hoping to build this over January. I'm going to take my time with that. And also, with the new year approaching fast, I'm just going to continue to enjoy what I'm doing. I'm really, really enjoying being part of Family Bricks and also Fab Blondie's channel. It was actually a New Year's resolution of mine at the beginning of this year to do some live streams and so on. And I guess I'm still building my confidence, put myself out there and hopefully learn bits and bobs as I move forward, because at some point I would like to have my own channel where I could commit a lot of time to, but with work in my PhD, it just takes up so much time, and I probably wouldn't want to really sort of lead my own sort of channel and do my own live streams. It's something I want to do, but at the right time. I've only got 2.5 years to go in my PhD, but once I've done that, and then I can really, really look at getting the channel up and running. But for now, really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment with you guys, and bring on 2024.
Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, it's one thing which I always love that you bring along is you savor building the sets. Like you'll take your time with them, and it's not like, right, I'm building this one this week and this one the next week, and it's sort of and your passion for them comes through, whether it's the Harry Potter or the Home Alone or whichever one it happens to be. We know you have an off day, and we'll call it a Technic day.
I love that you're brutally honest.
It is. It's right. It's that bad. It's past 12 o'clock, I can say that.
As for me, the usual sort of thing, next Thursday, the Family Brick stream, as always. Maybe doing a stream on New Year's Day, probably in the afternoon. Be a bit casual. It might sort of just be catching up on any sort of building if I don't pick up anything new, and might have a few people in if anyone wants to join along for that. And now that I've finished the daily sequence of Advent calendars, I think might just take a break for a week and then back onto the top 5 most expensive and keep on getting through that. Hopefully, and get that done next year, and then sort of go from there. Just want to see if there's anything else. Is there anything quickly before we get out of here? Anybody else want to say?
No, just
okay.
I think so.
Have a happy new year, I guess.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to everyone out there, and just a quick shout out to the people who are in the chat: Bricker TY, Stop Clone, VPN, Brace Build, Simon, Fooling with Bricks, Not That Sam Smith, Delicious Food, Brick Stage Pass, Brickafix, London Bridge Bricks, Trevor's Videos, and usual sort of thing. Replay the game, give you guys a shout out. Always appreciate it if you get this far. Hope people have enjoyed those sort of recap videos from the year. And just for me personally, just thanks to everyone who's been here throughout the course of the year and who's been watching and participating in the chat. Really appreciate it. This has sort of grown and changed from one random sort of little stream into, you know, a nice little Thursday night get together. And of course, thanking you guys on the panel for always turning up and adding your bits into it, and the way that we catch up sort of during the week in the Instagram chat and things like that. It's always great just to touch base. And Tech, always great to have you in. Really appreciated in the early days how you were here a lot of the time and things. And yeah, certainly, obviously you've added a member to your family, as Bonnie has during the year, and next year adding another one. So I just want to say a big thanks to everyone who's been here and been able to help the Thursday night stream along. So,
yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for hosting, Matt, and providing this kind of opportunity for everyone to come together, whether they're on the panel or in the chat as well, because it is a much needed escape for so many of us sometimes. So really appreciate it.
It's nice and chilled, nice and like chilled, relaxed, like it's good stuff.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate that. And yeah, no, it's kind of good that even within the glitches and everything like that, it sort of just kind of carries on. So.
2023 is the year that you sorted out your stutter.
Every glitch is a clippable short. Just remember that, man.
And I've got years of content to go through. Okay, everyone. 2023 has certainly been an interesting year, and hope that everyone has can round out the year strongly, and look forward to 2024 and see you sometime next year. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
See you next year.
Bye.
Mr. Bigger, det bliver super duper!
See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.